Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. It's been a while because of the holidays and stuff, but welcome back for the sixth case of Haven of Horrors. As you can see, one of our players isn't here presently. Z will be joining us about an hour of the way in, maybe a little bit less. Z has a class at the start of our session now that we're in a new term. But because it's been a while, let's introduce ourselves again. Hi, I'm Rue. I use he or they pronouns, and I'm your narrator for the system, so I'll be running the game. Let's go to, on my screen, it's my left. I don't know where they are on your screen. Birdie.
Hi, I'm Birdie. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm playing Maria, who uses she, her pronouns.
Ro, do you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Ro. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Alina, who uses she, her pronouns.
And last but not least, Ari.
What's up? I'm Ari. I use he, him pronouns, and today and every day I'll be playing Vivian, who uses she, her pronouns.
And our fourth player, who will be joining us later, their name is Kestrel. They use Z, them pronouns, and Z plays Apia, who uses they, them pronouns. And
Apia
as
contains multitudes.
Apia does contain multitudes. I love them. And as always, I'm going to give you the content warnings for the case. I'll give them to you again before I read the statement. This statement deals with fire, the loss of a home and personal belongings, death, occult practices, and kidnapping. So if any of those things upset you or cause you distress, feel free to take a step back today and not join us for this case. Also, the world is on fire right now, especially if you happen to live in the US. So if a system that is based around fear and combating those fears is not something you can handle right now, please take care of yourselves and take a step back. On the other side, if this is a good distraction, we're happy to have you. And without further ado, let's slide into your day at the office. First off, you don't have to do the mechanics of it right now. But after your performance evaluations, each of you should take a level. So take whatever benefit you want for your next level, because you have leveled up by dealing with the director and not dying in the process. And I don't know, Ro, if I made you do it mid. I made you take the humanity point, right?
Yeah, I did it beforehand. We already
Perfect.
knew that I was going to take it. So
Perfect.
One question I do have is, was the leveling in system in order? I always forget.
No, you can pick whatever order you want.
Cool. Then I'm good.
Cool. If you picked a new move or whatever and you use it mid-game, just let me know. All right. I don't know if you went home after the performance evaluations. No, Vivian, you went into the stacks, right?
Yes.
You went home eventually, I assume.
Probably. Kind of was on a rampage, a knowledge gaining rampage. So we're gonna say yes for the purposes of time.
We're gonna hope that perhaps you went home.
We're gonna hope that.
Did Maria go home?
Maria also went to the stacks for a little bit, but did eventually go home, yes.
Okay. What did Alina do, Ro?
That's a real question.
No, she's been behaving.
She lives here.
She lives here.
No, she's like we've previously established, just sort of in general helping the archive be a little bit more organized, but not anything beyond that.
Cool. So it's been a couple days since your performance evaluations. I know it's been a month in real life, so bear with me as I tell you it's only been a couple of days in game.
Right.
And whether you live here or come into the office every morning like a normal person, your archivist is still not returned. from whatever job he was on. And that's unusual, especially Alina would know, having been here the longest, that like in general, the archivists don't tend to be away for more than a day or so if they're like actively looking at something. But
When
they
the archivist disappears, is not like a good thing.
it's not a good thing. But yeah, so when you all come into the office, either from the stacks or from the front door, there is still no one in the office.
I hope they're okay.
I trust that Damien knows their
Does
way
anybody
around.
have like a
everything.
cell phone number or something?
It's a good question.
You would
I
have.
know Alina doesn't.
Alina might not have a cell phone number,
Alina
but you do have like contact information for Damien. Not for any like emergency contacts, but you do have like a phone number and an address for Damien.
I want to call.
Do
Okay.
you think it would be too much to well, let's see what he says.
Let's
see.
call
He
first
probably knows
before
what
we
they're
start
doing.
breaking into our boss's house.
Right. They know what they're doing. They can defend themselves.
Okay, yeah.
That's not what I said.
let's not over accentuate their abilities.
What?
Yeah. So you want to call Damien's phone?
Yeah, I want to call Damien.
Hold on. Let me get the fun phone.
Oh.
Let's
I
get
forget
the
that
second
both of
phone.
you
Let's
have,
get the
like-
easier phone.
Wait, you have like phones that are not cell phones? I know.
Ari has
Oh.
all.
Hey, Ari, the web called. They want their 100 phone booths back.
Love random phones. I think that should be the gimmick. I think that ties into being eccentric and talking a lot. I think that's the way that you can visually represent that. Having with this random phone, be like, hello? That's a cool picture. Anyway.
All right, you've got your phone. You'd like to call Damien. Go right ahead.
Be like, wait a minute, where is?
Are you all calling? Are you putting him on speaker, or is one of you calling?
Yeah, we'll put them on speaker.
I guess Vivian is calling.
I'll just put him on speaker on my head receiver. You know, that's very possible.
Okay. Sounds good. The phone rings 3 times, and then an unfamiliar voice answers. Hello, who are you trying to reach?
Damien?
Oh, I'm very sorry. The archivist can't come to the phone right now.
Is he okay?
Yes,
Who are you?
my name's Marcy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Who do I have the pleasure to speak?
No, thank you.
Oh, what a lovely name.
You do not have the pleasure.
You
I'll
do not
deny
have
it
this
to you.
pleasure.
Maria's learning. She's
There is no
learning.
pleasure.
This is character
Maria said,
development.
not today.
So proud of her.
Yeah. From hi, can I speak to the spiders, please?
Can I speak to the
Okay.
spiders, please?
She's
I think
learned to.
If Damien does make it to a phone, can you put him through?
Sure,
Thank you.
I'll do that for you.
I'm gonna use my one and
Okay.
say, could you perchance tell us where Damien is?
All right, would you like to roll for me?
I'm going to do that. Oh, and I put my point into power, obviously, so I'm going to be using that
Sounds great.
clearly. Clearly.
Okay, eye fucker.
Obviously, he's like, are you gonna tell us? And oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. 11. Never mind, we're good.
Okay, that's a full success. It's not.
Yeah, we're good.
It's not like you failed or anything.
Right.
There's that same sort of weird staticky sound that comes whenever you try to do this over the phone, mostly because you're, manipulating technology to try and serve the whims of your god. But after a moment
one
and
does.
like through gritted teeth, you hear, 1 second, I need my notes because I forgot what I called this. Oof. He's in our house, the host's house.
And Vivian kind of just looks around like, are we gonna accept this? Kind of just like,
Is this an answer?
Vivian's like, is this what we want to hear? Like, what the? But we're just sitting here in silence for a little bit, like.
I'm sorry, but would Alina maybe make the connection? I don't want to use like meta knowledge of what the host is.
Alina,
because we haven't dealt with that yet.
We haven't dealt with it in this campaign, but as a longtime archival assistant, Alina would know that it's pretty safe to assume, at least as far as you're aware, the only like local weird group that uses that name is the Searing Host.
Cool. Then Alina will finally dig into the conversation because we're on speaker and say, would that perhaps be the Searing Host?
You do like to know things there, don't you?
We are a fan of that.
A little bit.
It's our
Just
job.
a little.
Well,
Just a tiny bit.
this is mine. And then she hangs up.
So that's a yes, I think.
That's a
That's a yes.
period.
So, Alina will turn to the other two and say, well, either the archivist is dead or soon to be dead.
I'll join Nicole. I feel like that
Oh.
happens here sometimes.
Maybe. It's on the table. It is definitely not off the table.
I don't know, just figured we should kind of all the possibilities.
What are the Searing Hosts, Alina? What is that?
We use the word a lot around here, but I think it's safe to call them cult. Has to do with fire. Unpleasant. Do we know? Will we know the location of this place, or
You wouldn't know this exact place because although it is the house of the Steering Host, they do have multiple like safe houses. Although they don't, and they don't keep them for long.
I imagine.
They tend to crash and burn whatever place they stay in.
But yeah, we should. I mean, rushing in is probably a very bad idea.
Agreed.
But the longer we delay, the higher the chances of our dear archivist not making it are. So since there's no one else here to deal with this situation, yeah.
Sorry, I had an idea. Maybe we should check on recent statements. If they're active, our archivist might not be the only one that saw them. Could give us some clues.
A great idea. We should definitely approach this like a case, just like any statement giver's case would be, and then do some research, and maybe this will just sort itself out. I will head that up.
I'm going to check Damien's office then.
Good idea.
Since maybe they left something behind.
Yeah, so you all know that for the most part, the statements go through Damien before they get to all of you, because Damien sits and reads them all and decides which ones are like relevant.
Right, right.
Before they send you out.
Decides.
Decides. Yeah, so the office isn't locked. The door is closed but not locked. It's not much messier than it was. I mean, Harani was here not too long ago, so like it's not like no one has been here since then, I would say.
Right.
So like it's not like Damien has come and left since you've all seen him. But it's not like in disarray. It's not like they were dragged out of the office kicking and screaming or anything.
Well, Harani did mention that that they knew what was going on with Damien, but
They did, yes.
I'm trying to remember if they told me something relevant regarding that.
I don't want to talk
Because
to
Damien went voluntarily after these people. That much we know. Well, that much I know, which I will for now keep to myself.
But yes, Harani did tell you that they knew that Damien was looking into a statement, and that was why he was not here.
Right. I'm going to see if there's any copy of that statement or a recording, maybe.
Would you like to press play on the tape recorder?
I mean, if it's lying like right there, sure.
On the desk.
Boop.
All right. This is the part where
I think Alina can manipulate technology to that level.
to that
Press
level, yeah.
play
We'll see.
on the thing.
Helena is allowed to press play on the tape recorders. This is the point where sort of the meat of the trigger warnings is going to come in. So a reminder, we've got fire, loss of home and personal belongings, death, some mention of cult practices, and the kidnapping isn't in the statement, but it's an overall warning for the episode. You press play and there's like a moment of like shuffling papers as Damien gets ready to read, and then statement of Danica Gillespie regarding a fire that started in her dreams. Sorry if this report is haphazard. I'm under a lot of stress, as I'm sure you can tell. I've got a funeral to plan, a house to rebuild, everything to buy. I wanted to get this off my chest, and someone gave me your card. No one else believes me. I figured I might as well bring this to you. When I was 7 years old, an electrical socket in our bathroom burst and shorted. I watched the sparks catch, and no one else listened to me. They ushered me off to bed and told me it was just my imagination. And then the house burned down overnight. Since then, I've always had terrible nightmares. Tornadoes, fires, floods, meteor strikes, anything that can destroy the house and leave me alone in the cold. You name it, I've dreamt about it. My parents signed me up for a therapy program when I was in middle school. Art therapy, group talks, one-on-one sessions. Honestly, it was pretty good and definitely expensive. We couldn't keep it up for very long, but I got some good tactics out of it. I'm pretty good at handling my nightmares these days, or at least I thought I was for a long time. They still bother me, of course. I had nightmares at least 3 times a week, but I could get through them. I just got used to setting multiple alarms way before I needed to be ready for work. That way I woke up over the course of the alarms, pulled myself out of the dreams, and by the time they were done, I was stable enough to get ready for my day. It made my schedule a little rough to deal with, but it worked for me for a while. Moving in with my girlfriend changed things. I was hesitant about it at first. Like I said, my schedule isn't really conducive to living with other people. Most people don't want to deal with thrashing and screaming while alarms go off every 10 minutes from 5:30 till 7. But Marcy wanted to move in anyway. She wanted to deal with it. Or, as she insisted, not deal with it. Just live with me. I have to keep reminding myself that she doesn't see it as a burden. She helped with my nightmares more than anything I'd ever done before. Maybe I felt safer. Maybe there was something different about not being alone. Maybe it's something about being in love. Maybe I subconsciously didn't want to bother her, and so the nightmares came less frequently. Either way, the year I lived with Marcy was probably the best year of my life. When I did have nightmares, Marcy was always there to help me through it. Instead of waking up to 7 alarms and a panic attack, curled up in my sheets, I woke up to shushing and fingers in my hair and promises that everything would be okay. It was nice. I miss her. Marcy used to bring her friends over in the evening sometimes. They were nice. A little too touchy sometimes, but I think that's just how they were. A couple of times they lit candles on the coffee table and I had to ask them to put them out. I might be dealing with my nightmares, but fires in the house I can't even think about without hyperventilating. They seemed a little put out about it, but they always agreed nonetheless. I think it put a bit of a damper on their evening rituals. Marcy and her friends practiced some sort of alternative religion. I never really asked about it. It wasn't my business, and Marcy didn't seem to do it much when her friends weren't around. I mostly stuck to sitting quietly when Marcy's friends were over. All of them wanted to talk about my old house. Having your house burned down in a town this small makes you something of a local celebrity. And I can't deal with that particularly well, so I just brushed the questions off and sat quietly whenever that came up. The last night I spent with Marcy was after one of these visits from her friends. They had stayed later than usual. A couple of them were working on a project for work and needed all hands on deck. I said goodnight at my usual time. Waking up early means my body is pretty trained to be in bed before 10. And I didn't begrudge them staying in the house. It happened a couple of times before. Sometime around midnight, Marcy came up and told me that everyone had gone home. I wasn't really awake for that, but I have the vague memory of it, of fingers in my hair and a kiss to my temple, an arm around my waist before I drifted back to sleep. And I had the worst nightmare of my entire life. It was hot. Everything was hot. Sensation was real in my dream. I could feel it. The sweat on my skin, the searing of hair, the itching and scratching and painful sensations that come with fire. Burning happens in all sorts of different ways. I could smell it too. Burning hair, burning wood, burning fabric, plastic, metal, rubber, leather, flesh, glass, bone. Everything that burns has a distinctive smell, and I could smell all of it. Overwhelming, like being at the center of an inferno. I can't tell you where the dream ended and reality began. I was running through my house, looking for Marcy, calling out to her, but nobody answered. The house was ablaze, fire licking up the walls and tearing down the rafters, dripping from the ceiling and consuming every piece of furniture and cherished object. Fire doesn't discriminate when it tears everything out of your hands. The edges of my nightgown caught fire, the flames white hot against my skin. I couldn't escape it. I couldn't get out of the house. All of the doors were blocked or too hot to open. Behind every exit was another wall of flame. It was encroaching, getting closer and closer, locking me down into a corner as I watched everything burn. My vision was failing. The smoke does that to you. Most people that burn to death don't ever feel that burning. The smoke knocks you out and kills you first. And I was just waiting for that to happen, waiting for unconsciousness to hit so I could say goodbye once and for all. I don't know if it was just my brain playing tricks or trying to throw me one last bone, but I saw Marcy in the doorway. I saw her behind one of the walls of fire, and I knew I could get to her. Maybe we could get out of the house. Maybe we could be safe. I ran to reach her, but there was no one there. Just fire, more fire, licking at my skin and searing my hair and wrapping around my foot like a whip. I tripped and fell, and the world went dark. I woke to alarms, but not my usual ones. 2 fire engines and an ambulance, smoldering wreckage, EMTs and shock blankets and questions and screaming, searching. No remains to be found. The house was burned to its foundations. Temperatures so hot they assumed Marcy was turned to ash, bones and all. But I was untouched. Not a single scratch or burn, not even irritated skin or soot on my clothes. Everything else burned, but I was left there, with the image of Marcy disappearing into the fire emblazoned in my eyelids. They could never determine the source of the fire. No electrical failures, no appliances left on, no signs of arson. Neither of us smoked. They went down a laundry list of causes. But no one stopped to consider that the source of the fire might have been the one thing untouched by it. Statement ends. Click.
So you all heard that name, right?
Alina seems sort of lost in thought, but kind of almost unrelated to the statement. And she just sighs out, I hate the desolation.
You guys, the fire cult girlfriend is the same one that kidnapped Damien.
I'm sorry, what?
Marcy.
Yeah,
That was her name. She answered the phone.
that's literally the person who answered the
Right.
phone. But considering the way that Marcy was painted in this scene that we just heard, versus the person who begrudgingly explained that Damien was with the people who she literally didn't even want to tell us about. And she also went missing with regards to this fire-related cult. It seems pretty safe to say that Marcy was kidnapped and is now brainwashed and is either attempting to or is just a representative of the people who kidnapped Damien. Or
I
at least
don't
the
buy
ones
that
he's
for a
interacting
second.
with.
I don't
She
buy that.
seems pretty.
People can lie.
Yeah,
not
but
to
this
you.
happened. This persisted, but this persisted before Marcy's existence in Danica's life, if I'm to remember the tape correctly. It honestly sounded like either these fire infatuated people. I'm going to assume that this is the steering host. I think that's fair. These fire infatuated people either like marked Danica really early on, or she had some connection to them, or someone in her family was connected to them, or something, because this persisted beyond Marcy. And Marcy's disappearance from Danica didn't really harm Danica as much as it did alarm her and harm Marcy, so it seems. I think it's safe to say this progression would leave Marcy in danger. Or else Danica would have been kidnapped, right? If Marcy was the one who was.
Well, we don't know if Danica wasn't kidnapped. How long ago was this statement
That's
taken?
true too.
It had been about a week since, like, when it was left on Damien's desk, and then another, like, 4 days since then. So, week and a half.
Maybe they just wanted to scare her.
That's
Why?
As you
I
are
don't
all
know.
sitting in the in Damien's office, contemplating the statement you've listened to, you hear some shuffling in the other room as someone else has arrived for work.
Hi, Apia.
Apia like kind of wanders in, and they have they look a little bit unkempt, like one of their outer like sweatshirt underneath their trench coat is on inside out, and there's a bit of blood on their trench coat, and they look really tired.
So,
Yo.
like, slightly
so basically
different.
normal.
Yeah, basically normal,
the
just a
same.
bit just a bit weirder.
A little
Oh,
tiny bit weirder.
That's hard.
It's hard to be even weirder, but you know.
You okay?
Yeah, I didn't have time to switch my trench coat. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss?
Fire statement. You'll like it.
Damien's being
Yeah.
kidnapped by a cult is what we think happened.
A
Yeah.
fire
It's not
cult
ideal.
that also kidnapped a very
Traumatized lady.
emotionally therapeutic lesbian.
I am
From
going
what
to
we
write
can
that next to my my character descriptions.
From what we can see, the Fire Nation has kidnapped this this very pleasant lesbian woman who has in turn kidnapped Damien? Question mark, eyes emoji.
Disagree that she seems like a pleasant lesbian. I think that she is the cult leader. But
Nefarious lesbian.
yes, thank you.
Pleasant
You-
lesbian versus nefarious lesbian. Right.
I have to say that I'm
Yeah,
I
you're the
lean
tiebreaker here.
towards- I lean towards your theory, Maria.
Whoa.
It's possible.
But maybe because I
We'll
always
see.
assume the worst.
Oh wait, I forgot. I can get a new ability. Ooh,
Oh yes,
it's time.
Kestrel, you leveled up for the performance evaluations, so you can pick a new thing.
Nice.
I'm
I can.
going to. I'm gonna DM you.
I'm probably not doing it this session, but for next session, I will probably like steal a move from some other playbook.
Okay.
That
I know
was
exactly
my-
what it is. I've been wanting.
that's
to pick
my
this up. I
intention,
was
at
like, why
least.
didn't I do it earlier?
Should we say what we did?
If you want to, if it's not something you want to keep a secret, if it's something you want to keep a secret, just message me it before you use it.
So I switched computers, so I'm desperately trying to get my character sheet from our message logs.
Oh no
Me.
worries.
I'm having a morning.
Move.
We're happy to have you.
Yes. Have this one.
While
All right.
we're kind of outside the plot for a second,
Mhm.
I do want to do something quick. So since her interview with the director, Maria has been staying an hour after her shift ends to peruse the archives,
Mhm.
and see if she can discover anyone with similar abilities to her own, that kind of body weirdness. Has she found anything interesting?
You definitely will have found something, but do you want to give me a roll so I can tell you
Yes,
like
I would
how?
love to give you a roll.
Do you want to give me a? I will say I will let you use thought or power because you
Alright,
are
well, my
looking for
thought-
things to do with your entity. So
My thought is higher than my power, so
Can't relate.
well,
Alina,
Alina and Vivian just like.
Alina sees Maria looking for that and tells her, "I diagnose you with beef."
well, I rolled a 6, so
oh well, you can mark experience.
fun.
So you don't find anything like eye-opening. Obviously, there are lots. Of
Eye-opening.
I can't wait till the final boss where instead of doing my makeup to match the person you're after, I just wear Jonah.
Yes.
But no, oh yes. You don't find anything like essentially you don't find like a statement that is exactly how you feel. There are a lot of like fleshy statements, but most of them are like cannibalism and things like that, things that you don't quite relate to.
I don't like this at all. This is picky.
The closest thing you find is sort of like buried at the bottom of a box. You can tell it was kind of like tossed away as like not something that was worth looking into. So there's no notes or anything written on it. It's just the statement itself about someone who content warning for like skin picking and self-harm, like not really self-harm, but like in a way that can be construed as it. A person who accidentally, like in itching and scratching at their skin, like ripped a hole open and then watched it sort of stitch itself back together.
Maria, like, oh, I've done that.
And then every time they did it, like it would stitch together a little bit different until all of their skin was new and they didn't feel like their skin was the same anymore.
She's gonna keep that.
I do that.
I do that.
I do this.
Cool.
I have a
Anyway,
question
back to the
about.
statement.
I have a question about that investigation. Are there any good, like in the archive, any good pictures of cows?
There are pictures of cows, not in the archive, but like you would
In the
know
world.
that the previous archivist had some, and they're probably in a cabinet somewhere.
Good pictures of cows.
While we're looking at things, assuming that we kind of, we're still like catching up APA on the tape and talking about that. After that, Vivian's gonna go into the stacks in the actual library archive area and do a general search on the steering host as of late.
Okay. All right.
So that's probably after.
Go ahead and give me a thought or a power roll, Vivian.
Let's do that one. Actually, we can say that happened before so that we can bring this information into the conversation now.
Fair enough.
Dang. 7.
Okay. So not as phenomenal as you could have done, but not a failure. You don't find nothing. Okay. You walk into the archive, and again, this place isn't like, it would be great for all of you if this place was organized by entity. If someone had thought to like put them in boxes labeled like fire, scary paintings.
I believe that that's what Alina is trying to do with the archive when she's reorganizing everything.
Every couple of weeks she really tries, and then Damien delivers 50 new statements and just tosses them wherever the fuck he feels like. And she's like, I hate this place. But you do find bits and pieces of information about the searing host. You know that they've been around for the better part of like 30 years off and on. They seem to sort of like die out and then sprout back up again every once in a while, often after like bizarre and disastrous occasions. Like it respurns their like activity because they feel empowered. And you know that they're not just about fire. Their name might suggest that, but sort of any sort of destruction, any sort of like event or cataclysm that really takes everything away from someone, they're very interested in. So you'll often hear like whispers of them even after like hurricanes and tornadoes and things, because the despair of losing everything draws them in.
I see.
So this is reactive, or do we know if this is reactive or if this is sort of like these events are caused by them, or
yeah, is it like a correlation or a connection, or there's like,
is it correlation or causation?
It's a bit of both, sort of in the sense of like they worship and admire natural disasters, but as far as you can tell, they're not powerful enough to cause a natural disaster. But in terms of like fire and like things like that, they have been implicated in several cases of arson. They are like very willing and able to burn things to the ground.
Right. Summoning a hurricane is harder than just like lighting a building on fire. So
precisely.
I would know.
Have you ever tried to summon a hurricane?
No, but I have set a lot of things on fire.
I think that's safe to say. I think that's good enough. I think that's enough experience to make that assertion personally.
I have an important question that'll be relevant later. Apia, what did you do with what the director gave you? Did you keep it?
I forgot what the director gave me because I have the memory of a dead goldfish. Could you please DM me?
Yes.
I'm dying.
I also have the memory of a dead goldfish.
Goldfish actually have pretty good memories, but not dead ones. Oh yeah, I definitely kept that.
Okay,
I have
cool.
the mind of a steel sieve.
I figured you had, but I wanted to make sure.
anyway.
Wait.
Yeah.
DM me too. I'm scared. I'm scared now. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess since it was part of the thing, I can just say it. The director gave me a lighter that has some sort of vibes to it, so
I remember that.
Vibes.
Vibes.
A lighter with vibes.
yeah.
That's descriptive enough.
It is.
Yeah. This lighter's vibing.
Instead of lighter fluid, there's just like vibes inside.
No fluid, just vibes.
That's an accurate description of my body.
No fluid,
Just
just
vibes.
vibes. Just vibes here.
Does this mean
Just skin vibe.
we have to go visit another cult?
Cult.
I mean,
Who?
It is. Call.
I mean, we do have I don't want to assume, but we do have like a backup archivist here.
You just
Maybe.
have spares?
I
Maybe.
we have
Just
quite a
keep
few
her around
people
in the
who work
hallway
here we never
closet.
interact with.
Isn't
knock.
Vivian a spare archivist? I'm sorry.
Spare archivist.
Horrible.
Their archivist.
Their
please?
archivist.
Spare archivist, please. May I please have a
Spare
spare
archivist.
archivist?
Ooh.
But
Find our archivist.
I
Thank
just
you,
mean in the
Maria.
event that Damien has already been immolated to death, we need to have a backup plan.
right, what I mean is that we should be careful and make sure that at least Vivian survives the encounter with the cult.
Vivian's the spare?
Yeah, obviously.
No explanation given. Just yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Who's Vivian? I forgot.
Ari.
Ari's character.
Okay, thank you. I'm dumb.
No
I'm
worries.
so tired.
I'm
This
sorry.
This is in character. It feels like who?
Who are my
Right.
coworkers? Fuck this.
It's like,
Maybe it's
hello?
just no thoughts, head empty.
I think Apia just the only name that Apia remembers is Alina's because she's the biggest threat,
Yeah.
and the rest is like and the other coworkers. Okay,
Apia
So-
definitely knows all of your characters' names. I don't because I'm big dummy.
me RO.
so do we have a current location? Did no, Damien didn't leave any ongoing investigation here about the host, right?
No.
No, that would be too convenient.
Right. What? Come on
Why,
now.
why would your boss leave you useful
We-
information?
Have you ever
we need
worked
to have
anywhere?
a chat with Damien after we rescue him.
Right.
You do have an address for Damien or an evil boss.
I think
No,
we can activate our Mystery Incorporated powers and break into his house and see any clues about where he went. I think that's pretty on par with what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, we're breaking
It's
into
time
our
to mystery ink
house.
this shit and break into somebody's house.
Yeah.
I feel better about that than breaking into the cult house. So
Oh, that will be happening too. Be ye not deceived.
That's part 2.
I
That's
know.
part 2. But
We can enter in
yeah, I
part
think
2.
we did the research. We found this from Danica. We have a lead. We can't contact Marcy anymore because she definitely won't answer. And now that she seems to have cult powers, she probably will know if we call her from somewhere else to just snatch more information. So our
wait,
best bet is
why?
probably- Why wouldn't? Because the only means we have of contacting her is through Damien's phone. So if anyone calls that phone, she would know that they're just looking for Damien and it's probably connected to us,
Right.
and just wouldn't say anything unless we called her from her house phone, and we don't have that. So I think the only real way. Oh, never mind. Let me use my 3. Hello.
I'm like, you can just know things.
Let me just go and be like, what am I doing? I'm out here trying to think. like a normal person.
Vivian's like, why think when you can know?
What am I
That
doing?
might be a quote.
Low key. It's like no
I have
thinking, just knowledge.
I have a shirt from a channel that doesn't exist anymore, and it says, I really wanted to wear it, but it's in the wash, and it says, ask not for whom the bell tolls, ring it and find out. And I really like it.
Oh, that's really
Yes.
good.
It's got
That.
real like fuck around and find out vibes.
Literally. This is some Shakespearean "nuck if you buck" energy. This is what's going on. Okay, I'm gonna use my 3 and just. I think you know what we would want to know, and depending on what I roll, it would be general enough to get all of it, right?
I will let you ask questions based on how high you roll.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. That makes more sense. Hello? Where did my? Okay. Period. 12.
All right, you can ask me 3 questions, and as long as they are
Okay.
like knowledge-based and, well, rather, you can ask me 3 knowledge-based, like hard fact questions, or you can ask me 1 like big picture, like conceptual question.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. 3 knowledge-based questions. The first one is physical directions to get to where Damien is. How do we get there, literally?
Oh, I mean, you have his address, but the eye can also GPS you to his house if you wanted it to.
Like, I mean, like
Oh, he's-
where he is.
Oh,
not
where
like his
he
house, where
physically
he
is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, his physical location.
You sort of like have to hold on to the table as you get taken for what is essentially a Google Earth view.
Right. Yeah.
And its culmination is a not terribly shabby, but not terribly nice house on a corner. And you like get to zoom out and see the address. And it's 317 Alm Street.
Thank you for your specificity, Mr. I.
And then
I'm gonna
You rolled a
Okay.
12.
right, literally. It's like you roll a 12 and then the eye is just like literally Google search bar. You just type it and it's like, okay, what is this? Okay. I guess that's not knowledge. That's not just straight knowledge. Did Marcy, I guess, is that time-based knowledge? Let me just ask it.
Settle this.
Was Marcy abducted against her will? Like, did she decide to do this, or was she taken? Like, can I see like when she was removed from the household and like how that took place? So that's too time-based, right?
No, I mean you can ask the question. You might not get as clear of an answer, but you're asking if she was taken or if she left or if she went willingly.
Yeah, like if she was taken or like this was something that she did on purpose. If this was in some way.
You get a glimpse in your head of what you assume to be the night of the statement, as a person you've never seen is thrashing about in bed as flame licks at the corners of the bedspread, and you are in the body of another person who is standing and watching and then turns heel and walks out of the house.
And there's only one person in the bed as the bed is
There's only one person in the bed.
Okay.
Evil.
Hold on, let me write these notes because I will forget. Vivian
Nefarious
also has
lesbian.
Nefarious lesbian.
is her balance patch. She learns everything and forgets it instantly. So let me write this down.
God trying to nerf Vivian.
I was like, hold on. You would be broken.
You can know everything, but only a little
Only
bit at a
for
time.
a couple minutes.
Literally.
You can know everything, but there's no guarantee you'll remember.
Right. The eye is about like absorbing information, not keeping it.
Not keeping it necessarily.
I'm telling you, the eye is Googled in my business. Ominous.
Okay.
There are
Google
lots of
Maps.
things about like Harani that like are like fun lore bits, but are not relevant to the campaign. So I don't know that you'll ever like learn them, but I will tell you about them later.
I think you should just make like a Meet Harani YouTube video.
I might. I'm
Honestly.
tempted. You will see why when we do our special thing.
Who's
And then I
Harani?
think the
Sorry, I'm
last
lost.
one.
Harani is the director.
Okay, I'm big dummy. Sorry.
No worries. I do also just call them the director sometimes.
The last question is very simple. Are the members of the steering host under like someone else's control mentally? Like, are they being mind controlled or brainwashed or something like that?
Hard no.
Okay. I say that seems pretty easy. I'm pretty sure I already know, but those other two were like all we really needed to know, so we're good. Okay.
Not a mind control. Like, I guess you can argue whether or not like being raised by a cult is a form of mind control, but
Yeah.
they're not being like manipulated by the entity directly, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. That makes sense. That's all I expected anyway. So those are the three questions. So we're just sitting there minding our business. Vivian looks in the camera and gets the "That's a Raven" moment, and then is like, "This is the address," and then we get up. So that is how this went down.
Oh, right. That's why Damien never tells us anything or leaves anything written.
So we have you.
Duh.
Is that new? I haven't seen you do that before.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. If I do say so myself, that's just me, though. You know.
Maria trying to flirt.
Vivian
Nice.
is literally just thinking about herself. It's like, yes.
Nice
Correct.
eldritch
A
powers
question.
you got there.
I have a question about one of my powers.
Okay.
It's kind of off topic, but I have one called Inner Fire, which is basically where I can be really, really warm if I want to be. Can I use that to set things on fire, or does that only work on people?
You could use it to set things on fire too.
Okay. Cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've been able to do that for a while. I just haven't done it yet because I haven't had the need to, immolate anyone or anything recently.
Yeah, someone else usually handles that.
Alina has like a pop-up over her head that says concern.
I can do what? But yes, you can use that for objects too.
Cool. I'm assuming I can also use it ambiently to heat up my coffee, which is cool.
Yeah, I think you did that
Wow.
last. I think you did that last
That's
episode.
such a vibe.
Yeah, I'm just warm now.
It's also probably
APF
really useful when you're outside.
Apia, as usual, forgets what body temperature is and just keeps accidentally just being super cold. And they're like, man, I wish I could do something about this. They just forget.
Me.
Okay, so
All right.
what should be our next move? Just like straight up go at them? Seems
still think- I
like
think
a
we should
plan.
check out
Damien-
Damien's house anyway and then go to their location.
Damien's smart. They very well may have left a note or something or not because
I'm sorry, what?
Who knows?
Start that sentence again.
see, that's why I said maybe because I was like, hold on, rewind. Damien's smart.
Right, go on.
So maybe there's a note or something at the house, some kind of insight onto his whereabouts.
I want to
possibly.
see how much of a struggle there was and how, if we can get an idea of how injured Damien is when we find him.
Exactly.
Because
There's
we're
a
going
lot
to
of
need to
stuff
be
we can
careful
glean from
about
that.
this.
Yeah, going to Damien's house does seem like the reasonable next move.
Maria
Let me get
is
my espionage outfit.
grabbing some car keys.
Before
Sick.
going to war with the fire people.
Everyone
Vivian
hop
dips in
into
her office right
the
quick.
mystery
Mystery
machine.
Comes out in a Vivian comes out. What is it? one of those Catwoman cat suits, which is a straight cat suit, flat out, and some heels. And
Holy shit.
obviously the Black Widow
Yeah.
garters.
Damn, I
And,
didn't know
gun
you kept like a
holsters.
full ass leather suit at work.
Honestly, I literally have the plague nurse. They just keep being relevant. The plague nurse dress, the extreme high heels for shenanigans, and a rock climbing cute mini skirt harness set. That is it. So unless we go rock climbing next week, I will have no more super cute outfits.
What does
Apia just
Maria
has
want to
like
say?
8
Out there.
shirts on.
What did Maria want to say?
Maria didn't want to say anything. Maria is just a lesbian.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Being a lesbian,
Maria's just
Vivian
like,
is doing her idle animation, taking her gun, pulling down her tranquilizer gun, pulling down her gloves, fixing her
She's
goggles
got
on
guns?
her head. She has a tranquilizer gun.
You can't do that. That's Alina's thing. Don't you have a gun?
You got a sleep dart gun. We are not that. We're support class only. The only utility.
Apia like looks at you and says like, do you think you could be a little less conspicuous?
no, I think this is great. This she
Vivian's
can
sitting there.
do whatever she wants.
Yeah. What she said. And then walks out the door. That's it.
Everyone into the
I
mystery.
feel
music.
like this. I feel like this costume is less conducive to espionage and more conducive to some sort of fetish convention. And then Apia walks out of the room.
True. I mean, yeah. Are they wrong?
Not wrong. Yeah.
Are they wrong? Are you going to sit there and tell me that I'm wrong?
All aboard the mystery.
Right.
Here we go.
Maria, the only responsible driver. Oh, yeah. The address is 317 Elm Street, by the way.
That's the address of the cult.
Oh, yeah. No. Damien's house. We know Damien's
We
house.
have to go to Damien's house.
You do know
Yes.
Damien's address.
We are
you-
on our way to
Definitely.
Damien's house.
Woo.
We
You
are
drive
arriving at
at
Damien's house.
Damien's house.
No driving shenanigans. Far out.
So you arrive. Damien lives in an apartment complex on the ground floor. So you go into the apartment complex, and the door's locked, but that's never stopped you before.
Apia, can you pick locks immediately?
No, but I can try.
I feel
Um,
like Alina should know how to pick locks, but that hasn't been established. I think
Okay,
she-
this
Get
is-
my dice.
This
here's
is
my-
going to sound stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, you go.
She's been fucking hunting monsters for like what, half a century or more. Like
She can probably
60
pick a lock.
years. She
I'd
can
hope so.
probably pick a lock. So
I'd hope at that point. Is that...
can I roll for that?
I think that would be agile,
Agile?
but you get a +1 because you know what you're doing.
Cool.
Okay, this is going to sound kind of broken and stupid, so I accept if the answer is no. But can I use my 3 to find out the pin placement combination to make it easier, and then use my 2 to tell Alina without words to like visualize it and just do it? I know it sounds stupid, so I get if the answer is no.
Maybe
But-
check first if I don't get the roll.
If you just get it, yeah, then we will be fine.
If worst comes to
Um,
worst, I can try just burning the door down.
8.
Okay. I think
Yeah,
we're good.
you do manage to open the door. It leaves some scratches, so it's not like you broke in like without a sign. But you don't think that Damien's gonna call the cops on you, so it's probably fine.
I mean, we're
What's
trying.
Damien gonna
We are
do?
trying to
Call
rescue
the
it.
police.
Are you
What are
yeah,
the
like-
police going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Kill me. I'd like to see them try.
All right. We busted
Alright.
in the house. Vivian does a
Yeah.
jumps in and does a somersault and like gets on the wall and is like all dramatic. Yeah, we done it.
Is anyone not
I-
going in?
I'm picturing like they arrive at the house and go look at the door, and Lena just like takes out a set of lockpicks, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
No, this tracks.
This tracks.
Is anyone
So,
not going in?
Is this like an apartment? Is it a house?
It's
an
an apartment
apartment.
complex, ground floor.
Is it like a nice apartment? How much more does Damien earn than us?
I mean, it's not like ritzy, but it's not shitty. So like a middle of the road apartment.
Okay.
Even if Damien was rich, he wouldn't spend it all on something like this. He
No.
would definitely.
So, he's making enough to live above poverty level, definitely. But so are all of y'all. The Institute doesn't pay like terribly.
Okay.
One of these days, one of you needs to come into AP's home and just experience.
Statistically, it'll probably be Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just thinking about of all the people in this call that APA trusts, which is none of you
Hey.
except possibly Maria.
I think
right.
Vivian is even though she is being dramatic and tumbling in the room, she'll stay at the door and let everyone else do the investigating. Because like in case something crazy goes down.
Okay. I ask again, is anyone not going inside? Just for
I'm going in.
okay.
We
I'm
have
going in.
our boss's house.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You gently push open the door, and Vivian does a 6 somersault into the room as the rest of you walk in on your feet, I presume.
Yeah.
Not gonna walk in on my hands.
You could.
Lena just floats into the
And it's a little jarring to walk into Damien's apartment. There are papers everywhere, and I don't mean just like on the tables and on the chairs and on the desks. They're like pinned to the wall, pinned to the fridge, pinned to the door. It is like imagine the Charlie Day conspiracy wall thing, but it's your whole house.
That's hot.
And
That's
they're all connected with like very carefully drawn out strings that like don't overlap just enough to allow passageway, but some of them connect like across walls. So it is kind of like you're in like a nest of knowledge
a laser room
attached with webs. Yes.
I'm
Vivian?
looking very specifically for signs of a struggle. Like if there was anything, like scratches on the door, like things out of place since there's so much stuff on the walls and in the room, anything that might have fallen down.
You don't see any blood, but you do see that there like are very clearly some of the strings have been like pulled down, and the ones that have been pulled down are like singed.
That's not great.
Oh. Vivian, I want you to pay very close attention to this situation, because if you're not careful, this is where you're going. This is gonna be.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Okay, and this is hot. I'm liking this.
That's kind of the problem.
I'm in. I'm sold.
Vivian, you know that meme where I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's called hypercognition, where your power is like you see math and they're like looking around and all the stuff is floating. She's doing that right now. She's like absorbing everything right now.
Okay, so there was a struggle. I would have bet that Damien got himself caught sneaking into the place or something. I wasn't expecting this.
Do we
Considering
know
how much paper.
Do we know what the singed strings were attached to? Are they important?
I mean, it's worth a shot.
I
It's
am
more
a s-
likely that it just happened in the struggle, but
I don't know. What if he was onto something and they were trying to?
is anything like
Nothing.
burned and put in the trash can or just like burned in general?
Some of the pieces of paper are definitely burned. Like they're not like in the trash. The ones that so like again, you're kind of like in a weird nest, yeah? Like imagining a nest of papers and thread. Um, Sort of in the like center of like one of the areas is where a lot of the threads tend to like connect to. And like it almost blocks the way into the hallway. But a chunk of those has been like burned through, and there are like the papers that they were perhaps connected to are littered on the floor as well, and like not as neatly. Like neatly is not the word I would use. But like
Deliberately.
Yeah,
you
not
can tell,
intentionally.
yeah, you can tell there is a method to where everything is, and these papers that are kind of like scorched are just kind of scattered on the floor.
I'm gonna gather those up and try to figure out what's going on with them.
Yeah, I'm assuming that if they went after Damien for being onto them, they would have got rid of as much evidence on themselves as possible. So that much I expected.
Visibly, it sounds like the way that things are singed, like existed to give someone a walkway like through this without being impeded, because like some of the strings that blocked the hallway were singed and the papers attached to them fell, which seemed sequential, and yeah, things like that. Are there any singed papers in the middle of the room? Is anything just like appears to just be destroyed, or is everything like in where somebody would walk in the house? Does that make sense?
The middle of the room is the only empty space. You get the sense perhaps that would be where Damien would stand to sort of like survey the surroundings. So there's nothing in the middle of the room because it's the like the hub, so to speak. But the singed bits aren't exactly like only in front of the hallway. It's not so because like there are still strings that like you would have to duck under to get into the hall. But like they took a chunk of them and like ripped them from the wall and singed, and like that action singed the threads.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gathering up the stuff on the floor for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of this seems incidental. Is it? It like how you said a lot of the stuff is placed somewhat meticulously. I feel like if there was a physical struggle, it would have disrupted most of it. Is like the majority of it kind of just sitting there. Most of it is just untouched, relatively.
Yeah, a lot of it is untouched. Like it wasn't of interest, and it wasn't in the way, so to speak.
Right.
Like there are entire like walls and sections that you can tell have not been moved, and none of their cords attached to the area that was disrupted.
So
Right.
maybe there wasn't a struggle. Maybe he was taken somewhere else and they came here to destroy evidence.
That seems actually very reasonable considering the setup here.
Can I
Because
just
Damien definitely would have put up more of a fight, I think.
What's up, Maria?
He wanted to go. But I don't know. I don't know anything. You guys walk into call meetings all the time.
I wouldn't call
Damien usually doesn't come, but it's possible. But while everybody's looking at everything, can I just kind of, I'm sure that whatever is on this wall is far beyond me, but can I get anything? Like, try to follow some of the strings and see if I can at least understand what Damien was trying to put together?
Make an are you doing it in general, or are you doing the ones near the like are you doing a general search, or are you like zoning in on an area?
I think I kind of wandered off a little while everybody was investigating. That whole concentrating is hard thing.
Yeah.
Kind of wandered off, and like maybe one like paper caught my eye, and then I just started following the strings that it was connected to.
Okay. Would you like to make a knowledge roll for me?
Sure. Okay. Do you mean thought?
Yes. I don't know
Okay.
why I said knowledge. probably 'cause
That's
I was looking at
okay.
Vivian's sheet. I think the word
That-
no is written on Vivian's sheet like 7 times.
I think so too. It's very, very there.
So that's a 5.
All right, mark experience.
I feel like I'm like the anti-Ari.
In this situation,
You are the
yeah,
physical and
low-key.
Ari is the mental.
the mental.
I
That
am
is how this
the-
is going.
Yeah. Well, I did just gain 5 experience, so
Sick, you get to level
That's-
up
I
again.
gained
I do get to level up
1.
again. That's one thing that I can take. And I'm gonna message you about that because I have ideas.
Perfect.
her.
So you sort of catch a word on a piece of paper and you're like, huh, interesting. And you take the thread and you follow it to the next one and the next one, but you can't seem to understand what these connections are. Like from the like threads and circling, Damien had very sure understandings of what these connections were, but you're reading individual words and you're like, these have nothing to do with each other.
Like,
What?
whoa,
God,
And
me.
we have very different brands of ADHD, huh?
And at the
Yeah,
end of it,
me.
you've kind of just got like a little bit of a headache.
Yeah.
You're like, I have no idea what's happening.
I feel my god's like mad at me now.
Stop trying to intellectualize.
I was like, oh god, too many words.
Eat some meat about it.
I'm
I'm like, by
You
the
are
end, I'm like in the
thinking?
fridge looking for some salami.
Okay.
well, everyone's
Damien's fridge is upsettingly empty.
well,
Literally
everyone's
has
looking for
pretzels.
like clues.
Is there perhaps some lunch meat I can steal?
Yeah, there's probably some lunch meat. There's just not
All
much.
right. Yeah, no, I'm just back. I'm like, didn't find anything useful. Found some bologna.
There's
Some-
a single Slim Jim.
It's a takeaway.
Anyway,
In the fridge? Putting Slimothy
Or
Jimothy
Slim-
in the fridge?
are Slim Jims like kind of like blasphemy against the flesh? Or anyway, I'm going to go to Damien's room if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, you just have the duck under the like conspiracy
Right.
hole.
Yeah, because everyone else is looking for clues, and I think they are all very good at
Yeah.
that. And while Alina is not bad at that, I have other interests now that we are here.
Okay.
So
there
I'm,
are two doors, a bathroom and a bedroom.
right, I'm
Snoop.
going to go to the bedroom, and I'm going to look around. I want to understand Damien better.
Okay.
This is not particularly relevant to the
Yeah.
investigation, I think, but it's what Alina wants to do.
1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so you want to like dig around essentially and see if you can find things that teach you about Damien.
Right,
Okay. Do you want to give me a thought roll?
sure.
Sort of look at shit.
That's 10.
Okay. The first thing you notice is that Damien's bed doesn't look particularly well used. Not even for the fact that he's probably not been here for several days. Like it probably wasn't used before that. He doesn't sleep very much, and if he does, it's not in bed. The like armchair next to the bed seems a lot more used. Like perhaps they just spend a lot of time sitting in the chair and reading and maybe falling asleep reading.
Understandable.
Next to their bed on either side, there are like nightstands that are piled high with books and folders that you know are from the Institute. Like they have the like sigil on them. Like Damien has taken cases home on more than one occasion, which you could guess from the notes outside. And then a stack of like books ranging from new to old, and like some of them are like history books or like books about the area that you can tell that maybe they were studying cases. And then some of them are like older books with not necessarily like bad vibes, but a couple of them definitely do have some vibes that maybe these books shouldn't be out in someone's apartment. They might belong to the Institute in a way that should be locked up. When you touch them, you're like, don't like that. But they're just sitting on his bedside table like he's been reading them. And like you notice that sort of like because you like looking around because you got a full success, you see that there's like not the same level of like connective tissue as there is in the front room, but like there are little like note boards in Damien's room, and some of them are like personal things, like reminders for himself to do things, like 8:32 take your meds, 8:46 brush your teeth, things like that. And like mood tracking, but like those are also all connected with like thread strings. Like everything in Damien's life is connected with web strings. And they're not old.
Are there any spiders here?
You don't see any actively, but there are cobwebs.
Right. Okay.
I need Maria to just send out her body and just be like. And
So
all
he
the
doesn't
spiders
like keep a
off of it.
diary then?
No, he keeps like personal notes. Like I
Right.
said, they're like pinned on boards. But he doesn't keep like a diary of like how he's doing or anything. The closest you can get is by reading those boards and knowing that like recently he's felt like he's been watched more so than usual. And also that he like has been having more and more trouble coming home
From the archive.
from the
In what
archive.
sense? You've trouble coming home.
Like there is just a note that says like, I haven't been back here in a while, and every time it seems to get harder. And like beneath that is like, it's making what I'm trying to do more difficult because I can't bring all of this back to work.
Huh.
Okay. This is interesting. Cool.
Get a little fun. Get a little fun.
Hey, do we have everything we need?
Yeah, I think we're good to switch segments here. I think we had a little basis here.
What did I find? Like the papers that I was gathering that were singed?
A lot of them are like burned to the like, they're not burned to ashes, but they're burned to the point where the ink has sort of like faded into the paper. And but like you do get the like you can see where like words have been circled and like underlined very importantly. One of them is like the statement that you read, like a copy of it. There are like pages of that. And like the section about waking up in the ashes without being touched has been circled, and like a line has been drawn from it across, and then you find another page where that line might have led to. And it just says Avatar ? And then was very clearly a pin stuck in that. And the next thing that you find where's like there's holes is a page like photocopied from a book, possibly from the archive, that details like a similar occurrence happening a long time ago, where a person stood in the center of town as it burned around them, entirely untouched, and like their followers danced in the flames at their feet.
Oh, wild. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, muy interesante.
I narrate that into my tape recorder because that might be important.
Yeah.
And then I think we're ready to we're here for the cult stuff.
Well, really quick, are there any signs of singes or struggles or anything like that in Damien's room? Like he was removed from his room?
No, the room is
Okay.
mostly untouched.
And just to clarify, Vivian's gonna look over all of the things that APia picked up to try to make connections to them back at the archives to find that book that was photocopied, things like that, just to get a understanding of that. And there's not really any. Well, okay, I'll do that later. Never mind. I was like, I'm gonna look at the spot where the strings were mostly singed and try to use my own genius to reconnect them based on what's on the papers and what I think it could be and what Damien is saying. See if I could do that with a power roll instead of a thought roll. But that kind of take a second.
You could use power for that.
I can try. Okay, just right quick to see if it says anything, or really just to see if it says anything relevant, because it just might not even be connected. So I'm gonna try that. 10.
Congratulations. The eye desperately wants to tell you things. Yeah, you sort of stand there and you're looking at the papers in Apia's hands and you sort of like you can't really pick them up and move them. They're a little bit fragile, but like from what you can like arrange and put back to the wall and like theoretically get these cords to reconnect to, the picture sort of starts building itself. And it's statements about the searing host and it's statements about other fires that have happened recently and news articles about fires that have unknown starters, a couple of them being Apia's, which like are also in this collection of articles about like local fires and local loss and things of that sort. And
I'm contributing to the problem.
and sort of in the like the interconnecting zone, you find the like from the same book the like image that had accompanied the text, and underneath it Damien has written ritual.
Okay, so I will confirm to Apia that you were very right. It appears that Damien was kidnapped or abducted or something somewhere else, and then they came here specifically to get rid of this, because all of this, gestures to everything that was singed, is directly connected to investigation on the steering host. So I think
this
we have
isn't.
everything.
This definitely was not random that these things were burned.
For sure.
Maria's like in the back with her salami, like, wow, fucked up.
That's fucked up.
But yeah, as you all exit the apartment to pile back into the mystery machine, would you like to take a quick break?
Yes, please.
Moving segment. We're going to the next big one. It's coming up.
So we'll be right back. We'll see you in about 10 minutes, where I assume they're all going to break into a cult house.
What we do.
What we do. You love to see it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of our case. If you missed the first half, the archivist is missing, and their statement had something to do with a person who slept and their house caught fire, and then when they were left, the whole house had burned down, but they were untouched. And they assumed that their girlfriend had been consumed in the fire. But our investigators have called Damien's phone, and it was answered by someone with the same name as said presumed deceased girlfriend. So we're looking into that, and they broke into Damien's apartment and found his very interconnected web of theories and notes that he's been taking home from the Institute. And they had piled back into their car for the next step on their journey to find the archivist. Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Hello, secret recording version.
Right.
Are we being recorded right now?
We record through the Zoom, I think, yeah?
I
Mhm.
don't see
I mean,
the.
I have Twitch open and I can see the stream.
Twitch
Okay.
did die. You're right. Twitch did die.
Cool.
And
That's
we
so crazy.
have killed it.
Rip Twitch.
Which is
Twitch.
All right. What would you all? What is your next plan of action? What are you going? Where are you going next in the mystery machine?
we are going to the cult. That should be like the tagline
Yeah.
of the entire show. We're going to the cult. You'll want anything?
Y'all want
Um,
anything?
I
We're
would
going
like-
to the
Cult
cult.
store?
I think Maria would like a lot of things.
A hug, perhaps.
That would help.
Help, perhaps.
A hug from the cult.
No.
Okay. I think we're good to
A
just
hug from the warm, loving
Take our
arms of your
way down
nefarious
there.
girlfriend.
nefarious
Yes!
lesbian.
Fireless.
It is time. That's what Vivian is about to evolve into with the,
I would
the
like to
influence
hold
of
Vivian's
Kalani.
hand.
Vivian is
That-
like, yes. And just
That-
sitting
I
there,
don't
what is
I
it?
meant to say that out loud, but whatever.
Sitting there in the car, legs crossed, sitting there looking like Bayonetta on her phone, the hand on Maria's hand. And Maria's just sitting there like, yep. This is it.
You are
This
holding
is the-
hands.
This is the life with my chocolate.
This is the life.
Yeah, we're just the she asked for no pickle meme.
Yeah, actually. Oh, now I have to draw that.
Okay.
Now I have to
Please.
draw that.
Cult house.
Now I have to draw
Cold
it.
house. Cold house.
Cult house.
Yes.
Okay.
So we pull up at 317 Elm Street.
Are you pulling up in front of the house, like just right in front of it? Mystery machine
Yeah, where
parked in the
how are we gonna do
driveway.
this? You want to
I
go?
think I'd like to think it's less of a mystery machine and more of a sketchy unmarked van.
It is a sketchy unmarked van.
It can
we'll
be
see the
both.
house from a distance, so like because we know what it looks like, so we can like park down the road, right?
All
And
right,
kinda
yeah, I'm gonna park
Yeah.
across
Run
the.
up.
I'm gonna park around the corner and we're gonna walk. We got legs.
Hear me out. I need you all
hearing.
to be very I need you all to be very attentive at our surroundings right now and wait a moment while I take a nap. I'll be right back with some relevant information. Okay?
Okay.
If anybody
Um,
else had said that, I would probably say no.
And Alina is just
But
going,
I don't think we can stop you.
I mean, you can leave and leave my unconscious
not
body here,
leaving
but
Without Alina, not because I think she needs to be protected, but because I would like to be protected.
exactly. You're like, right, what are you gonna do? Burst into a cult without me? I'd like to see you try.
I
So
think.
Alina is asleep.
Sorry, you got it.
And
Okay.
I
Alina-
think Vivian and Apia are probably like the best at interpersonal espionage based on the history. So, do you want us to go in there as like one squad and do some, I guess, scouting, and then we maybe come back, or we devise a plan there, or what are you thinking, Athea?
I'm not really. in
I think we
favor
should
of
wait
splitting the party.
for I think we should wait for Alina to get back
That's fair.
Mentally.
from wherever it is the heck she's going.
Right.
Tell me, Elena, where are you going?
Basically, I'm in the band, but spiritually, I'm checking the cult for ambushes and shit.
I
This- why is that so relatable? Mentally,
do
physically,
you
I'm
have
here.
to roll for
mentally,
that? I forget.
It doesn't say.
Okay, then no, you don't.
It just says you just.
Yeah,
Wah.
I think I decided you don't have to roll because your body would be left unprotected, like in the meantime. So that's the
Yeah.
actual like consequence.
Right, the drawback.
Yeah.
But I have all these lovely youngsters to keep watch over my nap while I
You have the Charlie's Angels.
Taking
while
a
I
nap.
take my soul into the cult headquarters.
Yeah. You're gonna no clip through the wall like it's a Bethesda game.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you're gonna zoom out of your body and no clip through the wall. It's a decently sized house, probably like without like mapping the outline of the house, you would guess it's probably like a 3-bedroom. There seems to be 1 bedroom on the bottom floor, and then there's like a few rooms upstairs. And what are you looking for exactly? Like, what are you
I'm
just
looking
like?
for roughly the number of people that there are inside. Like I want to have like a clear picture of how many people we might
People
be
are there?
facing.
Okay.
I want to know where Damien is, and I want to know what our best ingress points. would
Your
be.
best methods of ingress.
That's a-
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Ingress point.
Ingress points. There are 2 doors, a back door and a front door to this house. There are also ground level windows and second level windows, although the second level windows aren't near anything that you could climb. So those are probably your least likely option to get into the house. On the ground floor of the house, there are 3 people in what appears to be like a living room kind of space. They're like just sitting on couches like together. And on the second floor, one of the bedrooms is occupied. There's someone in it, and the other one there is no one in. And there is a basement door, and down the stairs of the basement, it's very dark down here. But you can see that there are 3 people in the basement, one of whom appears to be bound in some way.
Can I see who it is?
Not clearly, but you can get some idea of size. They're not particularly large, but they're not like a child, like shorter than average, you would guess.
Is it Damien sized?
It
think
might be Damien sized.
Okay, so in the basement. Cool.
With 2 people standing over him.
Okay, so it's 3 people in the basement, including Damien, and in the rest of the building, it was
4
5
total.
other- 4. Okay, so 6 total in the building.
Yes. 6
Is
and
there-
Damien.
Right.
6 enemies.
Right. Right. 6 targets.
6
Six
targets.
targets.
And is there one of those outside doors to the basement, or is the basement's entrance internal?
The basement's entrance is in the kitchen.
Hmm.
Like it's more of a cellar than a basement, like not like a basement you would hide in from tornadoes, but like a storage space.
Right. And what's the closest entrance to that kitchen?
The back door.
The back door, and there were 2 people on the way, basically.
So like I did not draw this house. I probably should have made y'all a map, but I didn't.
Didn't take into account my ghost powers.
You're going ghost. She's a phantom.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So like, I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
Front door, hallway, stairway up, room. This is the living room where the people are. This is the kitchen, back door, basement hallway. Like basement.
So it's like ideal to go like go.
Yeah,
You
there
can
is
go
a
in the
door.
back door and go straight there.
There is a door from the kitchen to the living room, so like there is obvious line of sight from the living room into the kitchen. Is your only like concern?
Cool. I'm going to go back to my body.
Welcome back. You've astral projected.
Okay. So there's around 6 cultists currently at the house. And my working theory is that Damien is in the basement. Tied to a chair.
Okay.
That's a pretty
So it is
cliche
just a
place
straight up
to keep
rescue
your
mission.
prisoner.
What?
This is easy.
That's a pretty cliche place to keep your prisoner. Wouldn't be my first choice.
I mean, I will reiterate that I'm not entirely sure it's Damien. It's as clear as I could see it. There are 2 people in the basement with Damien, and there are 6 total in the house. The back entrance would be our ideal point of entry if we want to have a clear way to the basement.
I think I didn't know it was going to be this straightforward. I thought they might have already indoctrinated him. I don't know, whatever they're trying to do to him. I thought they might have already done it. But I think if we want to just do an extraction mission, we can have Apia try to go with Alina in the back door. Apia would be able to destroy whatever is confining Damien, and also facilitate an escape without being tracked very easily. So that's a good last line of defense. Alina, I think you could just blow someone up, probably, maybe, I'm not sure. So if you had to, you could do that.
Blow them up is not my modus operandi, but I probably can deal with those 2 people. Yes.
Okay, I think you 2 would be the most effective at the actual extraction, and it's pretty reasonable that I would be decent at distraction. So if I went to the front door and held them up while you did that, reasonably, Maria and I would probably be best to do that together. We could keep them busy while you do that. I think we can just make this one fell swoop and move through. I can also try to distract people who begin to focus on you as you go down the stairs, pull people's focus, and just generally be tricky. So I think we have some degree of a strike team to make this happen.
Okay. So
Okay.
you and Maria basically watch our backs while me and Apia go downstairs, take Damien, and then we leave.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
I think I can literally go to the front door and knock on it and hold their attention long enough to just not let anyone see you until or even notice that you've gotten into the house. Maria, I feel like you could function as a sentry, as an absolute sentry, to make sure that nobody else shows up.
So I'm waiting outside, or
Can you sense if people get near us?
No. I can sense if I get near us.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would like someone to stay in the kitchen while we go downstairs to watch that we don't get surrounded, basically.
Yeah.
So
And you
if
can defend yourself
you could
against
do
at least
that,
one
Marie.
person.
I can
Yeah.
do that. All right.
I don't know how much your abilities have developed, but it's a learning moment for that.
Apia and Alina are our powerhouses anyway. So if you need backup, it would really be safer for you to go in the basement than to try to fight people. It'd be safer for you to get closer to Apia and Alina, as they would definitely be able to provide a defense of some kind. It should have come to that. I doubt it, but it should have come to that.
Fair.
Oh,
I mean, I don't really have anything offensive, so I guess I'm just in the kitchen.
I just want you to warn us. So just hide in the kitchen,
Okay.
and anyone
If I
comes in.
see anyone, I'll like stomp on the ceiling or something, so you
Sure.
can hear me from up there.
Sure,
That sounds fair.
that's useful.
Maybe pretend to be, I was going to say pretend to be a burglar. It's easier to give somebody a lie that's easy to believe than to just not do anything.
I
Does
mean,
that make
if I
sense?
just say that I broke into the house, that's not. We'll figure this out as we go. I'm in
I
the
think we will.
kitchen. Vivian's at the door.
Famous last words. We'll figure this out as we go.
Have we ever had a plan?
Nope. And we're not about
really.
to start
This
now.
might be the most of a plan we've ever had.
We have a plan. It's just, simple and bad.
It's direct.
Simple
The
and bad.
more Alina will say that, in my experience, the more complex a plan, the more it will crumble once contact with the enemy has been made. That's why when complex plan against a werewolf is bad, but run them over with a car and then shoot them in the head with a silver bullet. That's
Maybe I should stay in the car so I can run over the cultists.
I think it would be better if honestly,
I would feel safer with a lookout.
Okay.
I think that you should actually go with Vivian to the basement, because I do have offensive powers. And since I'm a follower kind of the Desolation, I might also just be able to say I'm here for the cult stuff.
Actually, that's not bad.
I'm going to the front door. I'm not going down the basement. I'm not doing any
Oh, sorry,
distraction.
not you. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm easily the best at distraction.
Oh, no,
yeah,
okay,
so
okay. I don't think this approach is bad. Maybe...
Okay.
Maybe Apia goes to the front door.
Yeah.
Vivian works as the sort of getaway driver.
Vivian would know if someone was coming.
Right. And Maria comes with me.
I'm just glad to be included.
Yeah. You're just there if, I don't know, Elena falls down the stairs or something.
Here's my thing. I won't be able, if I need to, I won't be able to just physically take Damien with me.
Correct.
Because I'm older than dirt. So I need...
I have arms.
Right.
I have even function again. So...
Is Maria the
yeah,
physically strongest person of us?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, Maria or Apia, I would assume.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can fuck up a motherfucker.
I'm ready to do this.
I think Apia
and
I think this is a horrible idea, but I think we should do it.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So Apia and Vivian are going to the front door, and Maria and Alina are going to the back door?
Yeah.
Got it. All right. I'm going to sort of bounce between you both. The two of you are knocking, right? And the two of you are breaking in?
I'm going to use the previously established lockpick. the previous scene was established that Alina knows how to pick a lock, so that came useful.
All right. Why don't
Can I give them a countdown with my 2 so that they pick the lock right when we knock on the door so that it's easier to be not
That's
noticed?
a good one.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. I'll be doing that to Alina as we do this.
Can you give me your roll, Alina, for the lock picking? Because it'll be relevant.
It would be then agile, but +1.
But +1, yeah.
Cool. 7.
You succeed,
That's a partial success.
but you will
Do
sort
it.
of make some noise, but you're gonna hope that your compatriots distract from that enough while you do it. So approach the door for me, 2 of you who are going like Mormons to the front door. What are we doing?
I'll be in the back. 1, because I can tell Apia if I see something happening without using my mouth. And 2, because Apia is the desolationer and I'm the person who is potentially interested in desolation. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just looking. I'm the friend that they brought. So we'll see how we'll use that formation.
Okay, so the angle I'm gonna go for is I'm going to say that I'm. Do we know and they know it's the desolation, or how are they phrasing the thing that they worship?
A worshiper would usually call it the lightless flame.
Okay, because I'm gonna.
Which you would know.
Yeah, I'm gonna like basically try to tell them that I have also been called by the lightless flame and also have been setting fires, and I saw some of their work, so to speak, and I'm interested in possibly joining them because I would like to
I
set
would
more things on fire.
I'd like to set things on fire, please. All right, yeah. So you go and knock at the door, and as you do, like the people who are sitting in the living room, all of them sort of turn to the door, but one of them will get up and like actually open the door. And a about average height, fair-skinned person with like medium brown hair answers the door, and he looks between the 2 of you. He's like, "Can I help you with something? Are you lost?"
In a way, I guess you could say that. Are you?
Can I see into the living room from the door? Can I see in the room?
You can see, it's not like full view, but yes, you can see the living room.
Can I see the other 3 people or only like some of them?
You can see that one of them is in an armchair that's facing you, and the other person, you can't quite see them, but you can see their foot over the edge of the couch, which is facing like not directly into the kitchen, but like towards the kitchen.
And one person is completely out of view. They're probably on the couch next to them.
That's the person talking to you. The third person is the person talking to you. The 4th person's upstairs in a bedroom.
Okay. Cool. Never mind. As long as I can see what they can see, then we're good. And that's what Vivian is like. Vivian is looking around this corner. Like,
looking.
So that's it for me.
I am looking. Yeah, so Apia says, like, they say, like, are you lost? And Apia says, I suppose you could phrase it that way. Are you a follower by chance of the lightless flame?
I've been touched. And like he puts a hand out to you to shake.
Secret handshake time.
Yeah, I guess I'd like take his hand.
Yeah. It's warm in the same way that yours is. And like the fact that your hand is also warm, you surmise is what he was testing.
That's good, because APA usually forgets to do that and they end up being super fucking cold. So it's good that they remembered to do that this time.
and so he shakes your hand, and like a little smile pulls in the corners of his mouth, and he opens the door fully and like gestures in and says, Yes, I think I think you were lost, but you found the right place. Is this a friend of yours?
Yes, they have not yet been touched, but they see the beauty in the work of people like us, and they would like to know.
Hmm. Well, we have educational materials, and they like gesture for you to come inside. And the other two people who were previously sitting stand up. One of them is a very tall person, like probably about 6.5 feet tall, and she's got like short cropped blonde hair.
Love.
And she it was the one who was lounging across the couch, which
Why do
you
I
can
feel like this is our lesbian?
This is our tall lesbian. Hey.
We found her.
and the other one is like sort of entirely ensconced in at least a couple of hoodies. Like
Same.
they are wearing several jackets.
Not
but
the
they
alternate dimension, us.
It's
Alternate
the Mirror
dimension.
Universe. It's the Mirror Universe Institute.
But they both also approach and they offer Apia the same very like hot handshake. While the first person, the person who opened the door, offers a hand to Vivian and is like, I know you're new here, but you should get a taste of what you're being signed up for.
And Vivian is doing her absolute best to go back to being the wallflower nerd she was in middle school. She's like, I am unassuming. I know nothing. She's like, oh, thank you. And like tries to literally not even touch the hand, just be like,
In your
be as
cat
little
suit.
contact as possible.
And you're fucking, I forgot
Your
you have that.
fucking
I'm
cat
so
suit.
upset.
In my cat suit. Now
I'm
there's
so
a long
upset.
sleeve crop top jacket with it. So now I just look like an anime character and not a burglar superhero.
You look like Jubilee.
Yes, exactly like that. And she just does like the very most daintiest handshake. Like, please, literally, don't feel that I can't do that. Please don't notice.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Does she hold her hand out like this?
Yes,
Like that?
literally like the most 14th century lady. Please don't touch me.
A hand that is like not burning but very hot takes hers, and the person leans down and kisses the backs of her fingers with also like everything about this person is like unreasonably warm.
Right.
And like
Smoking hot.
you can feel almost like if he had lingered for any longer, the fabric may have singed.
Right.
And he pulls back and is like, I'm Alec. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the highest ranking member currently here.
Like, nice to meet you too. My name is, and she looks around at like various things in the room, and she's like,
Can I beam you a name?
Please.
Can I just fucking beam you a name across the room?
Table.
My name is Tay.
I'm gonna beam you a name from across the room. And that name is Violet.
If you just bless that, yes, that is my name. Violet. Recently got it the other day, I think.
Well, we all need to change new names every once in a while. It's important.
I realized I forgot to I need to switch my voice. It's Bella. I'm sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Yarrow.
A pleasure. We're very excited to have new initiates, although you, it seems, are a bit above average.
It's so nice to meet others who think the same after for so long being alone.
Yes, the world hasn't seen our way of thought yet, but we're working on that. And they like gesture for you to come in and take a seat, if you so please.
Yeah.
While you have done this, because you have gotten all three of them to stand, you have successfully made sure that no one is watching the kitchen. There is
Is
like
the
a
door
weird,
open?
the back door to the kitchen.
The
They
door
unlock.
between the living room and the kitchen.
It is open.
Oh God.
So we
you
just
have
need to keep their attention
you
up
have
here.
to keep them
So-
Oh,
focused.
be suspicious.
So
Don't
I
be
sit on the
suspicious.
opposite wall from where the door to the kitchen is,
Yeah.
so that if they want to talk to me, they have to look in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, God.
But yeah, so like so you're sitting on the couch then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have taken the piece of furniture that faces the kitchen away from them. The other two,
Yeah.
the two who have not introduced themselves and who you assume are like underlings perhaps, or like people who haven't like spoken yet, sit in the two armchairs. So they're also now facing across from it so they can see you. Alec is going through a bookshelf, like he's looking for something.
Okay.
But they
Radical.
they will make small talk with you.
Oh my God, I just realized we don't know how we're gonna get out of here. Fuck. We're in. How do we get out?
The plan is direct.
I just realized we have no plan for how to get out of here.
We can do this. Don't even worry about it.
I think
yeah.
it'll
Like,
probably
hey, I'm sorry,
have
I
something.
forgot something in the car, and then just leave.
I think
And then
it'll
just leave.
probably have something to do with fire. Maybe.
Oh, you're right. We're gonna get in a
A
fucking
little-
firefight with these motherfuckers. God.
Fuck it, Sam.
Yeah, so you get the message from Vivian that it is safe to unlock the door. It's a little noisy, and so you are very lucky that Apia has shown such a an affinity for the desolation, and everyone is like scrabbling essentially to like get their attention because this is very exciting. A new member who doesn't have to be initiated is very fun.
Yeah.
Um,
The
I'm
first
gonna
time-
mention. I guess I'm gonna name drop some of the fires that I've started.
Oh yeah.
Oh, actually, what
Mhm.
I'm going to say is I've noticed the frequency of some of your works is increasing, and I myself last night was so inspired. I'm gonna just pick a random street out of thin air, I guess.
Go for it.
There was this beautiful abandoned car in the lot on Fifth Avenue, and I couldn't help myself. It had been there for a couple days.
Oh, was that you? We were wondering. We always wonder
Yes.
when there's random fires. And like they're thrilled to titter with you and talk about the fires they've started.
Yeah.
And it's
Remember the spider house? That was me.
Right.
Yeah.
it's all if you tell them that you set the spider house on fire, they will be fucking thrilled.
Yeah, I am gonna tell them about that one.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
find-
save that.
yeah,
for when we
Yeah, I'm
gotta
gonna
make a
mention
big
just
distraction.
how like offhandedly,
Prolific.
like, have you ever encountered a building that just is so perfect? It's almost a miracle that no one else has gotten to it yet. I had an
Mhm.
experience like that, a house so overtaken with cobwebs that it went up like a tinderbox.
You feel like there's a collective hiss when you mention the spider, like the cobwebs, and then
Yeah.
like satisfied grins when you mention burning it down. And Alec like turns and smiles and says, "You're going to fit in perfectly here."
Vivian sends to Apia like, yeah, we got him. we're all right.
All
Yeah.
right. Should
Meanwhile,
we-
yeah, you
Yeah.
two can break in. There's some scuffling and noise, but again, very very focused. You've got an enraptured audience in the front here.
This is the first time that Apia, being a serial arsonist, has been a net positive.
I can't
Net
believe it
on
came in
progress.
handy. This like vague one-off thing that turned into a running joke is actually fucking helpful.
Literally.
All right. Well, let's get Damien.
All right, let's to sneak down the stairs because there are also people downstairs who are not distracted. Would you like to give me tread carefully rolls, please?
What is that?
Which
That's
power?
What's
agile.
that?
Agile. I think my agile is actually not awful, which is like
My agile
for me.
is 0 because I'm
mine old.
old and asthmatic. That's a 6.
That's a fail.
Yeah, I wasn't
Not Alina
actually
tripping.
planning on being particularly sneaky, so this tracks.
That's fair.
Mine's an 8.
Okay, a partial success.
It'll be a surprise, Maria.
You sort of you get the door to the basement, but it's not locked because they don't need to keep their basement locked against their own cult members, essentially. And you walk down the stairs. They're creaky. You're not quiet making your way down the stairs. You don't trip and fall and die. Alina stumbles and you manage to catch her before she falls to the bottom of the stairs.
No
but in
regret have both of you.
but in doing that catching, you make a bit of noise, and the like light that was in the basement like goes out. Like whoever perhaps had a candle lit extinguished it. And the basement's dark. It's not a large basement from what you remember, Alina, but it is pitch black now.
Well, that's not ideal.
Isn't it ideal? I will. There's 2 other people in the room and the person in the chair, right?
Yes. Right now it is mostly silent, except for you can hear like scuffing and scrabbling as the person presumably in the chair is like struggling, but the other 2 have gone totally silent.
Alina will look into the darkness and just keep walking down the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm. What was Maria gonna do?
Can I use my new power just for funsies? It's a little way to tell Damien hello.
Are you gonna try and use it specifically on Damien?
The thought was like maybe if people start feeling weird, they'll comment on it and we can hear them.
Okay.
But it's also just a nice way to say hello to Damien.
Yeah, you can use that as you go down the stairs.
Like
it doesn't
really
say
smart.
in your writing. Is it everyone in the room, or can you focus it?
I haven't decided that. What do you think, narrator?
I think because of what you can do on a 10, it would make more sense if it was like a single person.
Oh no.
Oh,
In that
Birdie.
case, I'm gonna on. Hello. I can still hear. I'm still here.
Barely.
Oh, okay. Can you repeat whatever you said? You're frozen, but
There you are.
There we go.
Can you repeat what you said? Yeah.
I don't remember what I
really
said.
behind.
I'm gonna.
Oh no.
I'm gonna.
Oh. Oh.
Ah! Ah!
Oh.
It's working now, though.
Are you back? Hi, Birdie.
Change
Hi.
place.
We might have all
Okay,
changed places
we
on the
switched
stream.
places,
Sorry,
yeah.
Nova. Oh, are you
Twitch
are you
is
good?
dying and
Good, Birdie.
I
Are
think
you
we're
good,
all
Birdie?
in the right place.
Am I here?
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm
so
I'm
it's a
okay with you doing general but physical contact for the
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is just a general, because in the past I have said like people around Maria just feel this
yeah.
weird
Right.
anxiety.
It's just a wave.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna roll plus power,
Okay.
which
Period.
is
Oh, I
an
just realized
11.
Let's
Woo!
go.
Congratulations. So is it
I just realized that.
is it everyone including Alina, or have you chosen to not include Alina in this torment?
I have the ability to not choose.
Didn't catch
Wait,
that.
I don't.
Could you repeat that?
I don't to not choose.
Okay, so Alina is also feeling these horrible effects.
How is the
I don't know.
effect? Can you describe it to me?
Everyone develops hives.
Do you want to describe it, Birdie, or do you want me to? Also, you're frozen, but
Everyone has
Great
eczema.
face.
Bam.
oh, are you back again?
I don't know why this is happening.
I can hear you fine now. Now
Do
it
you
seems
want
like
to
it's
describe
fine.
it? Do you want me to describe it?
I can describe it. We're gonna try it. The laconic is you have skin and it's a problem. It is sometimes when you're around Maria when she gets freaked out, you just notice this weird little like tingling on your skin. This is a tingling on everything. You can feel your skin. You can feel your clothes against your skin. You can feel the air against your skin. You can also feel the blood inside your veins. You can feel the air inside your lungs. You can feel every autonomous process in your body happening very loudly.
Yeah, this
It is unsettling.
this sounds very similar to me having, like me, real life me, having a very bad allergic reaction to humidity in the air. Like you're describing it, I'm like, yeah, I know
would
what
be
that's like.
that
I
would be
hate it.
analogous. Sure.
No,
that
thank you.
works for me. You
Uh,
can feel the shape of your organs.
Alina will.
When you
So
feel
can
your
everybody
like when
else
you
in
feel
the
your
room.
intestines drop on a roller coaster, and you're like, I have intestines,
Yeah.
and they are not connected to my body through chains. They just
What-
sit inside of me.
Any feeling you can imagine that is like suddenly becoming aware of a system happening in your body, it's that, but all at once.
Woo! I would
Not
just pass out.
poggers.
I would just pass out.
This really works with what I wanted to do. I would have appreciated to have Lena not be included in this, but
Unfortunately, I rolled an 11.
I guess. Lena will just keep walking to the room like no one's there, like she owns the fucking place.
Uh-huh.
And like they can't see me, but you know, like they will hear very purposeful steps moving towards the center of the
But
room.
I did want to know, are the cultists commenting?
Not so much commenting as like it's not words. It's like, ugh. But like
It's noise. It's something we can
noise.
use to know where they are.
But also
It
like
helped.
Yeah.
there is a weird sort of like wet isn't the right word.
Yes, I will be.
There is a fluid sound coming,
All right, thank you.
but like
All right, thanks.
I don't want to like say what it is that would give it away. Like a thick fluid sound, not like water.
I know what it is, but
yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything either. It's like, ew,
Yeah.
they sound wet.
Okay, Alina will say, do you fear the cold? Being
Now Lena being Demeter.
removed from your master. Do you think of that feeling often? Well, I'm not here to take you to that place yet.
Yet.
As
Yet.
long as you allow me to take this one with me. So
there is noise, but you can tell that the person who is in the chair is not blindfolded. What's the other word?
Gagged.
Yeah,
Gagged.
Gagged.
So I'm taking this person with me. And if either of you two attempt to stop me, I assure you that you will not feel warm ever again.
There's like the weird like upset sounds and things are still happening, but there's like like amidst that, like in between, essentially, as like someone tries to like re-evaluate their body, you just hear and all of the candles in the basement go up at once, and what was once a dark basement is now an extremely bright orange red lit basement, with all of the candles lit. And they're not the only waxy looking thing in the room.
Oh no.
The wet sound that you were hearing is the two who were down here guarding who you can now see is Damien. Their skin appears to be made of wax, and in response to what Maria has done, they are trying to like shake the feeling off by like sloughing off layers of wax. Hot wax, like it sizzles it as it touches the ground.
Ew.
Brody.
The two people in front of you.
Alina has still like this expression.
Yeah, this is normal
supreme,
for Alina. This is normal for Alina. She's seen this before.
I also realize that the cultists upstairs might realize that I'm not a pure follower of the Desolation if they try to use literally any electronics. Because they
Picks
can't.
up their phone and it just stops working.
It just sizzles out like every piece of technology, just like goodbye.
The computer's fucked. We've broken them. And the two people in front of you, one of them is about 5'7", with hair that is like an ashy blonde at the roots, and about partway down, it starts to ombre to like a dark brown, almost black. And like that person is the one who has sort of like mostly resolidified and is like chuckling. And the other person standing slightly behind her in like a deferential position is a person with like an entirely shaved head. And the person laughing like looks at you and smiles and says, "For someone who knows so much, you don't know that we do not seek warmth." The lightless flame is not warm. The lightless flame sears.
Alina rolls her eyes and she says, "You understand what I mean. All you sinister chucklers are looking for communion with your god of choice. What I'm saying is that I will take you far away from it. Now, move aside. I'm taking this man with me."
Why? I'm genuinely curious.
Wander on. And she moves to untie Amy.
Alina just like, wouldn't you like to know?
Around and
Wouldn't
find
you
out.
like to know, fire?
Wouldn't
Fire,
you like
bitch.
to know, Wax Man?
Wax Man.
To the tune of like, wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
Yeah.
That was too powerful.
The fun-haired one steps like doesn't stop you, but the one with the shaved head like stands between you and Damien. Are you gonna kill them?
Is that I warned them. They've committed suicide. I haven't killed them.
Yeah.
Can I try to grab her?
You can
That's
try
attack.
to, yeah. A 10? Perfect. I think you just kill them on a 10, right?
Oh, never mind.
There's no well, I mean, you're not
I
killing
don't even
both of
have
them.
to touch them. It's like they
Are you
stand
kill-
in my way and they.
Are you killing both of them or just the one in front of you?
No, the one who's standing in front of me. The other one hasn't tried to stop me.
Okay.
So I'm true to my word.
Yeah, you sort of like lock eyes with this person, and like there is a sort of a guttural gasp, and then sort of like a deflation as like their sort of internal fire, so to speak, goes out. And they begin to like melt, but as they're melting, the like wax that falls off them turns to ash directly. And the other person just kind of watches with like an eyebrow raised. They're not stopping you. Like she's not stopping you. She's intrigued.
Wouldn't she like to stop me?
And she sort of like brushes her hair back away from her face and sighs and says, well, there's always more where that came from. You do.
I didn't even want this archivist. You can have him.
You should know that we're not the only ones threatened by that. And she points at the archivist.
Yeah, but right now he's convenient to us and we need him.
Correct.
I know.
Oh,
While this conversation is happening, can I be trying to like sneaky?
No, I
sneak
will
with
say.
Damien. Sneak what?
While they're distracted by posturing. While they're distracted by posturing at Alina, can I just be like in the corner, like trying to untie them?
Sorry. When she says we're not the only ones threatened by that,
Mm-hmm.
Alina will turn to look at her, and like up until this point, she has like her eyes unfocused. She's not looking at anything that's not like right in front of her. She turns to look at her very deliberately, and she says, "I'm working on it." Like almost like a threat. Like this is my business. Don't.
This is my archivist, and I'm gonna kill him when I have to.
Right.
I need to. Exactly.
This is my archivist. Mom said it's my turn to kill the archivist.
With the archivist. Meanwhile, he's literally been broken out. Literally, like, is standing up now.
like, she's not going to stop you from untying him. She's seen what happens when, like, she does stop you, and she's smart.
She wants to live.
Yeah,
She would like to live.
I'm like, hi, Damien. We're here to save. We're here to rescue you. Undoing the gag.
Thank you. She's just kind of like watching. And she's not going to stop you from exiting the house either. But she is like just sort of watching. I don't think this will be the last time I see you.
Well, hope you live through the next time too.
Shooing Damien up the stairs. We're leaving. Goodbye.
Maria just fireman. Princess carries Damien up the stairs.
Right.
And it's like, we're leaving.
As we're leaving,
Sorry about the flash.
Alina will say, I'm keeping an eye on the eye. Okay? Don't interfere with my business.
The eye is none of my concern.
She will put out one of the candles
with her fingers.
Yeah, she will go like and put it out. when I say like I'm keeping an eye
Yeah.
on the eye, it's not meant like it's meant like I'm trying to convey to this person that I'm using the institute
You're the
Yeah.
as a
pituitary
way
gland.
of like
Yeah.
keeping an eye on what I think this person was talking about, even if I'm not entirely certain what it is.
Yeah.
But, keeping tabs on the whole thing. So I'll put that out and leave. Like I'll walk out. I'm not in a hurry.
Fair. Um,
Now we got to figure out how to
And Maria's
leave.
like, bye.
Just leave. Just walk away.
I'm gonna wait for the signal that you guys are out of the house, basically.
When we you see us like go through the kitchen.
Right,
Yeah.
Go like-
literally.
all of you in your head at the same time hear Damien's voice say, "She's upstairs." As
That's none of
you-
my business.
as you're exiting the house, it's very like it's very tired and weak. Like you can tell that they have been not in the best of health, and so that's all they can really get out before they kind of like collapse essentially and are
Right.
mostly unconscious. But as you are exiting the house, do you walk you like you get to the top of the stairs, Alina, and the door like do you shut it or do you leave it open? Door to the
I
basement.
think I think we shut it behind us. Or
It was closed when you went
I'm
down there.
thinking because that would make sense, but that would make sense, but also it would make a noise probably. So maybe we just like
Mostly
kind
close
of
it?
close it, but
What's her
not
face already
quite.
saw you, so it kind of doesn't matter. Now getting out is
I
a
mean-
priority because what's her face knows you were there.
The people from the cult haven't seen us.
Right.
yet.
So like, just there's no point in even like devoting thought to it because if they will find you eventually. But right now, speed is what matters. So just go. Don't even think about the door.
Speed is key.
I guess.
Need is key.
But Lena is having a moment.
And then if they try to come up the stairs, Bertie, just stun them. Just be like, stay, don't move. We're leaving. Stay
Alina
right there.
looks
Freak out.
Alina looks at Maria and says, "Go, just go.
I'm
I'll-
taking Damien getting the fuck out of here.
I'm
Damien's
going
not doing.
upstairs."
Damien's not doing good.
Before you can, so like you're gonna go out towards the hallway to go to the staircase, right?
Yeah, I'm not hiding. I'm not
doesn't-
doing jack shit. I'm just going.
Before you even make it out of the kitchen,
Hmm.
the floor beneath your feet is ridiculously hot. And you can hear the roaring of flames from the basement as the basement staircase crumbles, engulfed in flame. And the people who are in the living room all turn because they can feel it too. And they see you and are startled, but you are not as important as what is happening as the house begins to catch a blaze
Right.
in a way that is unnatural. Like this is not a normal house fire.
Okay. Quick time event.
Quick time event.
The kitchen
Maria's
door is
already
closed
not
to
dying
exit,
fast.
right?
Maria and Damien are outside and safe.
Right.
Yes.
I
And I
will s-
actually
Yeah.
have to go.
So let's let Birdie do
So-
her exit introduction so that they can go.
So yes, I have been Birdie playing Maria. I use she, they pronouns. Maria uses she, her. You can find me on you can find me places. My brain isn't working super great, so I'm actually just gonna duck out.
Okay.
But lovely to play with you all, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.
We'll fill you in, I promise.
Just assume that Maria is just in the car with Damien talking about cats.
They're having a good time.
Yeah.
Recovering.
Having a good time.
All right. The rest of you are in a burning building. What would you like to do?
Alina will. I have like Alina will just shout, "Vivian, upstairs! Danica, get her out!" And then look at the cultist and say, "None of you move."
And Vivian is like, okay, just runs to the
staircase.
just immediately starts going up the stairs.
As soon as Vivian moves, I am going to use Despairing Presence, which I'm
Okay.
gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work on them because they're also followers of the Desolation, but I'm going to try.
Okay.
So I roll plus tact and power.
Is it
That's
say?
what it says on the sheet.
Is there a plus button?
Yeah, plus tact and power. So
Yeah.
but I don't have any tact, so
It's because it's an inhuman move, so you get more bonus.
Okay.
You get more bang for your buck when you're using an inhuman move.
That is a 10.
Sick. That means you fully immobilize them, right? If it works.
Yeah. Well, it says you exude an energy that leeches the hope out of people. Roll plus tact and power. Gain 1 harm back for every person you drive to total despair.
Okay. Yeah, so like what you are essentially doing, it's very interesting in this perspective. I will say it works on everyone except for Alec, who is far enough along essentially to not be trapped in what you're doing. It's like a battle of wills, and he's a little bit more trained than you are. But the other two are like
I'll fist fight Alec.
the other two are like glued to
Right.
the floor.
I don't think you need to. Like, I can take care of him, I think.
The other two are like glued to the floor as you sort of like stare them down, and the same, like, these people gleefully enjoy taking the hope out of people's lives and eating it essentially and leaving them despairing. But their own hope is that this action will gain them favor and gain them like prestige in the eyes of their god. So essentially what you have done in looking them in the eye is told them without words that what they're doing means nothing, and all of the work they have done will not gain them any favor. They will never mean anything to this god, because at the end of the day they are humans just like everyone else.
And that'll stress them out.
Yeah, and so they're sort of
Me out.
they're sort of like the convictions they had are gone, and they're just sort of like left kind of lost. But Alec is not touched by this. He's far enough along in his tutelage that hope isn't something he considers anymore.
Apia reaches into their coat pocket and pulls out like one of those illegal collapsible stabs and like shakes it out. And is like ready to just like and is like about to basically launch themselves at Alec when they realize that it's not working on them. They are ready to like beat him into the ground. They are like one. That's the thing about AP is that they're not reliant on their powers. They absolutely will just beat someone to death.
Mood. As you should.
If I see Alec, even because Alina did say none of you move. If I even see Alec attempt anything, I will just kill him.
Drop him.
Drop him to the floor.
Drop him. Turn him to ash.
Alex sort of like tuts and says, "Oh, you could have been very useful." And like looks upstairs, like looks up as if like he doesn't look upstairs, but he looks upwards and says, "We've worked too hard for this." And like before you can get a hit on him, before Alina can drop him to the floor, he immolates.
Cool.
You watch as he just sort of like adds himself to the flames, licking up the walls.
Alina will just looks around and goes like, "My work here is done." She leaves the building and waits for the others
I'm done.
to follow.
AP is getting out of this burning house.
Yep, you can get the fuck out. How's it going for you, Vivian? The flames are here.
Alina, Alina, what did you say specifically?
Danica is upstairs. I think I said like in the bedroom, in the bed, but I don't recall because there was one person upstairs, right?
Yeah.
There was, yes.
Right. So everyone else is like here.
Okay.
So yeah, Alina said something like, Vivian, quick, upstairs, Danica is on the bed, get her out. And then like Alina will leave the building because she has asthma.
As Vivian is running for her life up these stairs.
What were you going to say, Kestrel? Sorry.
I just wanted to say that to the cultists before I like leave the house, the ones that are completely immobilized, I like Bella like turns and looks at them and says like with a smile on her face, at the end of the day, no one will remember you. You'll die alone. You'll never be anything. And in 5 years, 10 years, they'll burn the newspapers your fires were in. And then she leaves.
Damn.
You've given these two cultists an existential crisis. If you had any harm, you could heal it, but alas, you don't have any.
Yeah, because we just went in and out.
You do feel like deeply empowered, though.
Yeah. This is like Bella's favorite thing. It's just like Vale is there to take care of them, and Bella is there to hurt people.
All right, Vivian, hurry up these burning fucking stairs.
Yeah, she's doing some serious, like in the maybe like 7 seconds that she's going up these stairs. The moment she starts running, I'm gonna use. Ooh, that is not what I meant to click. I'm going to use my 3.
Mm-hmm.
And all 3 questions are just going to be, what are the fastest way for me to get to Danica? And like, is there anything I need to jump over? Is there anything I need to not step on? Everything is going to be, how do I make sure I do this without dying? So I'm going to roll, but
all right, roll
all 3 questions are on that.
All right, cool.
That's a 9.
Okay. So I will give you like 1 question instead. And the question, so you can choose. Do you want, how do I get to Danica, or how do I like avoid getting hurt?
How do I get to Danica the fastest?
Okay. So you sort of like use the eye to sort of make yourself a path that leads you up the stairs, and you have to like, your foot catches on a step, and you stumble, and like a bit of the flame comes and like singes across like your face, and you feel it. It's hot, and like you're pretty sure you'll have like on like an arm, you'll have some burning as you take 1 harm to like get through the like little hallway and into the bedroom. And there, sleeping on the bed, absolutely untouched, is a person.
Okay, I'm using immediately after using my 3, while running up the stairs, because I know where she is, I'm going to use my 2 and be like, get the hell up, move, pay attention, get up. And to just make sure that this person, Danica, is as conscious as possible by the time I get there. And upon reaching them, kind of just like almost pull them by their arm and be like, we gotta go. Don't ask any questions. Come on. And that's it.
They're very like shocked and very startled. And when you grab their arm, it burns to touch them. Like they are like, if the cultists downstairs were warm, Danica is unbearably hot. Like it hurts just to touch their skin. Like she is burning to the touch.
Does she look like conscious, like present?
She's like very sort of like shocked. Like she's very like, she's in shock, but she is like awake.
Okay. So I don't have to focus on anything except moving. I'm just going to 2 all the time and just be like, follow me, we're gonna get you out of here, jump over that fallen bookshelf or whatever, like all of that as they're just trying to maneuver to get out of here. And she's like, kind of just no regard for her body as she's just like bragging her, trying to not get burned, hitting stuff, just like, come on, we don't have any time. This house could literally all fall down and we die in like next 4 seconds, please.
You like get most of the way out and you're like get down the stairs and you're not doing so hot. You've taken a couple of harm at this point, like trying to like touching her and like running into things. And you get like the front door is like entirely impassable. Like the front door is the fire that Alex started has kind of like made that part of the house impassable. So you like have to hurry through the kitchen. And as you pass the basement, you watch like as a hand of flame reaches out and like wraps around Danica's waist and like pulls her towards the basement.
Oh God. Okay. Can I still... Is she in the basement or did it begin pulling her towards the basement?
It's pull. You're holding her, yeah? I thought you were. Were you still touching her or no?
I'm like kind of arm over her shoulder, like
not touching,
shifting depending on how we're moving. I'm not like touching her hands, but like we are in contact. Yeah.
So like because you're like in contact with her, you have like a second to try and stop this thing from pulling her into the basement.
Okay. I am going to try to do
that you make it
and attempt to use my 2 at the same time to kind of like, oh, you know what? No, screw that. I'm going to face my fear because at this point,
fuck it,
and literally try to press my consciousness and my entity so far into Danica's mind that this entity is like incapable of manipulating her like any more than it would be me. It's just a flame. It's not a hand. Like literally stop. Danica is not here right now. Go away.
Okay, so you're gonna try to use the eye to essentially like block Danica out.
Yeah, you can't. They only have marked Danica, and Danica is repressed right now. So literally, this is just a body. Leave us alone while pulling her out. So this is a real fear-facing.
Godspeed.
Oh wait, that's still an 8. But oh my! I literally saw 5. I was like, Jesus Christ! I was like, please. But still okay.
I don't remember the like consequences of an 8, like of a mix. Are they
7
listed?
through 9? 1 result, 1 consequence.
You get to pick the consequence though, right?
Yeah. Shoot. I think, you know what? I actually haven't lost any humanity all game. So I'm just going to lose a humanity.
Oh, shit.
Really?
All right.
I haven't done any humanity. I've just been being very normal all the time. So I'm going to do that this time.
All right. You sort of like, it's kind of visceral the way that like you feel more knowledgeable, but like not in a normal way. And like you sort of like press your own consciousness outwards, and the knowledge that you can do that, like that, the moment in which you realize that if you really wanted to, like, and really tried hard enough, you could put your whole consciousness into another person. That's like a really not human thought. And it's like, it's that realization that sort of like pushes you to the brink of like inhumanity of like, if I really wanted to, I could take control of Danica's body right now and like physically walk her out of this house using my brain. But as it is, you just kind of like, you brush that thought off and kind of like leave it as something to consider later. As you like sort of take, like block Danica out of this thing's view and like wrench her out of the back door. She's still burning hot though. Like, do not, like, don't touch her for much longer than that.
I think that's literally like 4 harm at this point. Cause it was like 1 and then 1 going into the room, 1 touching her, and then this. So I'm saying I'm
This.
basically like
You are unstable.
haggard at this point. Yeah, I think that's two left.
If you don't receive medical attention, it will be bad for you.
Pretty bad. Yeah, pretty close. But we're out of the house, and is she conscious still? Because I didn't like knock her conscious.
You didn't knock her out. She's not unconscious. She's just like really like lost.
Right. Okay.
She's having
All
a
right,
really rough day.
I don't think that we have the energy to like go all the way to the car. So I'm just gonna get us out of the way of if the house collapsed, the fire would come out of a door or a window and engulf us. Just to the point where like we can just not die, and then try to two at the car and be like, we're behind the house. We're safe.
Apia and Alina are like outside of the house, but just like at least Alina would suggest like staying to see if they come out. We wouldn't just like bail on you.
Right. I think, but you guys couldn't get out the front door, right? They still got out the back door.
Yeah,
as well?
we got out of the front door.
Okay, so I would just shoot at
got,
y'all then.
Right.
And then I think you would still be in like feasible range.
Yeah.
To just like come over there.
And help you get out.
Right. And be like, hey, I'm kind of dead. And I didn't bring my med pack that I usually wear on my butt because I'm not wearing a skirt. So please help me.
Well.
All right.
All right, pile into the. Are you? No, yeah.
Let's go back to the hospital.
If you wait and watch, no one appears to exit the house.
Dang,
Okay, cool.
They bowed it. They really bowed it.
Hey,
AP's body count finally rises.
I wouldn't say that's. Oh, we have to at least 1 point extra in my body count, but I don't think I would count everyone here as our body count.
The two that Apia, the two that Apia,
I guess,
incapacitated. I'm pretty sure they would have left that house if I didn't like absolutely fucking destroy them.
Yeah.
And you don't know about the fate of the person in the basement.
Yeah. I'm assuming
what they
didn't die. I'm assuming.
Maybe. That hombre was pretty powerful.
Like Alex probably didn't die either. I feel like he just turned into fire and pissed out. I don't even know if that's a thing he can do, but I feel like that's what he did.
Probably. That's what I'm feeling too.
The like cult leader that I spoke to downstairs, I think they wouldn't have said, I'll see you again, and then self-immolate. So I'm assuming
right. Agreed.
They had a way of surviving that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how heroic this whole thing is. It's very different from
this one was a lot.
You guys give so many fucks about these people.
Today was like, no.
I was this close to going like, nah, but I want you to know that it's not that Alina wanted to save Danica, it's that Alina thought, maybe Damien went to save this person for non-altruistic reasons that make sense. So I will save this person, because it might not be an entirely just dumb altruistic act. Alina is not like, I'm going to be like super heroic.
I'm going to help.
Well, super heroic. I'm going to delegate heroicism to Vivian. Like, Vivian, go save someone because it might be important.
Apia, like,
have a reason.
Apia has very much like chaotic good energy where they're like, I have decided who is good and bad, and I will help the people I have decided are good. And sometimes usually that's like the right people, but it's not anywhere near lawful. So, So Apia does give a shit. They just have a very like, if you're in my way, I'm gonna kill you, and I don't really give a shit about that part.
Right.
Okay, so we
take Vivian to the hospital.
Take her to the
Take them to the
hospital. Is
hospital.
Danica like fine, or was she like immune to fire or something?
She is unburned entirely, like
Not
untouched.
surprised.
So the only one that got hurt was Vivian.
Vivian.
Cool.
Is
And
Damien
everyone who
okay? Did
died.
they, like,
Damien is
fuck him up?
like Damien is a little fucked. Like
Okay, I guess.
Damien also should probably be dropped off at the hospital.
Probably.
Yeah, I was like, they're definitely not just gonna kidnap him and just be like, all right, sit in a basement now.
No,
You
he's
live here
very
now.
clearly been burned, but mostly a lot of it is like they have not been like feeding and giving him water at regular intervals.
Yeah.
So they're
So his body is
dehydrated.
just wrong right now.
Let's give him some water, like a little sippy.
A little sippy.
Can't get a sippy.
Evaporates in Danica's presence.
That is true. If any of you have water near Danica, it's boiling.
Are we like okay
You're
to
all
be
okay.
near her?
Are we like,
Okay.
okay?
Because like, is the water in my body boiling?
No,
Okay. Because I'm
You do-
water.
you are water. She exudes like a heat, and like inanimate objects are more susceptible to it than people.
Yeah.
If it's
That
not
can be good for the van.
if it's not an active choice, like you
Voucher
like
for the mystery machine.
it's not too far of a leap for you to consider that if they wanted to, they absolutely could boil your blood in your veins. They
Yeah.
just don't seem like they're
Yeah.
interested.
I could do that.
I do that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. At the hospital, bam, no time wasted today. We got 3 hospital patients in the van.
Let's go.
3?
Just two.
Damien,
don't think anybody
Danica,
else is hurt.
Vivian.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Danica's fine. She's just, you
She
know.
needs the
Well-
magic hospital. She needs some potion or something. Look at her. Look at her.
Danica is just like a nuclear reactor. She's fine. That's just like, you
Power
know.
the city.
Cool.
That's just how,
City is
it's just how she is.
Get her a job at the
I mean, she's
know,
not
anything.
hurt. She's just
She's not
Like
hurt.
us.
I just feel like we should take her to a professional, and I feel like the most professional is going to be in a hospital.
our little hospital division.
so she has a bit of fever. See if you can do anything about that.
I think she
Every
also
time
could
Vivian
use
goes
some
to the
like
hospital, she's in
counseling.
one of her costumes.
I feel like she could also use some, counseling, and they probably have that at the hospital.
They-
Better
they
than
do.
like us, just like group of circus clowns.
They do have spooky therapists.
Good.
Big
'cause
agree.
I feel like we need it.
I kind of
So-
want to spec into that. If I level up anytime soon, I kind of want to spec into spooky therapy as a translation of a move at some point, because people getting messed up out here. Like, this is too much.
That's gonna be Vivian's new job once she quits the
It's like-
institute. I'm gonna be a
Oh, it's
spooky
like-
therapist.
Y'all, I can't. There's too much spookiness.
But yeah, they will also take Danica and like put her in like a cooling room essentially, like
In a freezer.
not a freezer, but like they keep her room very temperature controlled.
Right,
Yeah.
And like
as they should.
if you watch the doctors that are like handling her, like are wearing like thermal gloves.
Sick.
Just paying close attention to it, as they should.
As they patch you up for your burns and Damien's burns and like mostly normal medical problems of being dehydrated. They're kind of like, why did you bring this one?
It's like
Well,
he just
we're
needs
like, well,
food.
you're also a hospital. Just put him in the non-magic division.
Maybe
But, like,
because
also he's a magic
He
man.
needs an IV.
So
right, like
He needs
we
an
brought,
IV.
we brought the
Right,
rest
right.
here because you don't ask weird questions. Like, how
This,
did they
this
get
is the
burned?
weird thing.
do we
This
need to
is
call the
unusual thing
police?
here. Damien
When we
is
say
the
he's been
oddly out
kidnapped by
there.
wax people in a basement, y'all don't ask questions.
Fair enough. That we don't.
Correct.
He's also a magic man, so I feel like y'all are more equipped to deal with that.
more equipped to deal with him looking into your soul and telling you your deepest, darkest fears in a morphine-induced state.
Yeah.
Correct.
Being an eye fucker on morphine is bad, I think.
It would.
I would expect that. It's bad enough being an empath on morphine in real life. So having empathic, psychic, the omniscient and omnipresent senses.
No.
It's hard enough being on morphine. Just end the
Right.
sentence there.
Back.
But yeah.
I think
So
that's
I think that went well.
Right, that went pretty okay.
surprisingly well.
They will
For the
let
most
you
part.
as like co-workers, they will let you and like Damien be in the same area. They have taken like Danica to her own room. One, because she doesn't know any of you. You have just kind of taken her out of a house and then brought them here. And so the doctors want to talk to them like privately in the way that you're
Right.
supposed to do. But they'll leave you, like the four of you, in a hospital room together.
Alina is so ready to grill into Damien for doing the dumb thing of going alone. She's like,
Yeah.
when is he conscious?
Oh, he's conscious.
Cool.
He's just feeling like shit.
And Vivian and Damien are just sitting there, both half dead, with all their the drugs in them, and they're just shared knowledging each other about stuff. And she's like, "Your room is so cool. I loved all those things in your house. We got to teach you how to do that." And that's literally like 3 straight minutes of just the most heightened conversation.
But not out loud.
No out loud, just going and
Fun
sending the most
afternoon activity
information.
for fun afternoon activities for the two of you include scrapbooking about other people's interpersonal lives.
Yep. Just sending like gigantic paragraphs of like the most complex information with the most nuance that's literally you cannot use words to describe it in like milliseconds back and forth for like an hour.
Having a good time.
Avia looks incredibly tired and is drinking shitty hospital coffee because Bella can't be out for a super long time, and now Vale is really tired.
Yeah.
Because this is the longest Bella's been out in like a very long time, and they also went out last night. So
Yeah.
We're just vibing in the hospital for like a few days, right?
A few days, yeah. You will notice that a package comes for Damien, like from the Institute that's got statements in it. And like while they're at the hospital, they just read them like silently to themselves. And their health improves markedly.
Reasonable.
give the man some information to consume, and he gets his strength back fast.
Mhm.
Vivian is like, good to know, good to know.
Vivian will remember this.
Not, wait a minute, not you telling me that this man can use books as health packs. You just keep books you haven't read with you, and you're like, okay, we're good.
We're good.
You have to just stay on top of it. Vivian tries to help him read through it. He's like, no, not yet. I got this.
I'm assuming like not right now because I'm assuming we are ending the session soon, but Alina will, before we end, Alina will tell Damien once he's kind of okay to talk to. She will say, you don't have to do it now, but soon you've got some explanations to make to me, okay? We will have a talk. Cool. Yeah.
All right.
You moron.
Yeah,
You
we are
did.
laying into that. You did this. Leave notes. Leave some notes or something. We can't do this no more. This the third outing where, in this order, Alina killed someone, Apia immobilized or psychologically inflicted someone, Vivian sacrificed her body for knowledge, and Birdie was traumatized. Maria just sitting there chilling. This is like the third time that happened in that order. Happened with
Party
the darkness
dynamics.
people. It happened with the flesh thing. I mean, not the flesh, with the spiral
corruption
painting thing.
Oh, the spiral.
And it
painting.
happened with the spiral painting had both people get.
I didn't kill anyone in the painting thing.
You're really.
Oh, you
sad
didn't.
about
I keep
that.
feeling like when we burned it
Yet.
down, I keep feeling like we got someone. We about to.
You're
We
really
almost
sad about
did.
that.
We'll get
Yeah.
there.
Very excited that Apia's arson counters. Well, no, they didn't set anything on fire. They were just,
Physically
their
there.
kill count went up.
Yeah, the
They
kill
were
count went up.
present at the time of the fire.
Excited to get my kill count
Fire.
up.
Yeah, that's
And
for y'all.
Laura
That's for the DPSs. The DPS can handle that.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us on our fiery case. We will be seeing you again next on the 21st. And if all things go well, we will have a special guest for that episode and the episode following, which I'm really excited about. And if not, we'll reschedule and have the guest episodes a different time. It all depends on how everyone's doing. But yeah, let's do outros. Let's go backwards. Ari, do you want to go first?
I'll go
wait.
first.
Yeah, I guess Kestrel technically was last, but it's
Oh
okay.
yeah, you're right. Let's be true to it. Let's
Yeah.
go first.
Let's go, Kestrel.
Okay. My name is Kestrel. I use them, zers pronouns. I've been playing Apia, who uses they, them, theirs pronouns. Apia is comprised of Belladonna, who uses she, her pronouns, and Valerian, who uses he, him pronouns. This is confusing. I'm glad we understand. My main social media is Twitter, which is Vaporwave Nashira, but without the E, because Twitter's dumb and won't let me make it any longer. And if you want to find my Tumblr, too bad.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Big agree.
All right, Ari. Do you want to go next?
All right. I'm Ari. I use he, him pronouns, and today I've been playing Vivian with a baddie. It uses she, her pronouns. My primary social media is TikTok. You can find me at The Frog Prince. It's all one word. And you can find me on Twitter at The Frog_Prince. Did we say that? I don't remember. Nah, I'm having a crisis. You can find my Twitter on my TikTok if you care, because I can't go looking anymore.
I think
But
there is an underscore, but I don't know where it is.
I can't remember where, and I forget every time. You'd think if anyone would know, it was me. But that is me. I talk about social justice and fighting games, and one of those things is very relevant right now, and it is not fighting games. So you can catch me on that if you care. Yeah.
All right, Ro.
My name's Ro, and I play Alina, the murder grandma. You can find me on Twitter at Ro de Valois, although that might change soon. I've been feeling like changing at least part of that. Or you can follow the webcomic that I write, which my partner illustrates, which is like a fantasy webcomic with a lot of dwarves and queer characters. You can find it at on Twitter at Of Dwarves and Men, all one word, obviously. And or you can just go to the site at rlfcomics.com, and you can support me on Patreon and all that good stuff.
I'm Rue. I have been your narrator this morning and afternoon. It's a new time, so I was about to say evening, and I'm like, it's 2:30. I use he or they pronouns, and sometimes I play Damien, who also uses he or they pronouns, but mostly I play all the other characters that are walking around. This system is a system of my design, and it's available for free on my itch, which is ilananight.itch.io. If you ever want to play this game yourself, I have it uploaded along with a couple of like example cases that you could use as one-shots. And you can find me on Twitter as @IlanaKnight13 and essentially everywhere else as @IlanaKnight without the 13 because I'm branded, but at the age of 9, I made a Twitter and then I forgot the password. So I had to add a 13 to the end. And some other things you can find me in. You can hear my voice as Nyx and Young Valentine in the Graveyard Tapes. And you can also, we're rescheduling the launch of Valence because of the current events happening. We don't feel comfortable having a party on Saturday to launch our podcast with everything else happening. But once we reschedule the launch and the launch party of Valence, you can hear me in the Valence podcast. And I would like to thank Nova, our wonderful tech person who has kept our show running and made sure that we're all in the right place and theoretically got us through whatever Twitch was doing earlier, which was fun. We could not do this without her. And I would also like to thank my partner, Percy, who made our layout and the in-between screens that you saw. And you can find them on Twitter as @LiquidRena. They do all of my graphics for my streams and stuff. And I want to thank you all for coming, and I hope that you're safe wherever you are. And I hope that things come and get better. But if you're in a space where you're safe and financially able, you should donate to mutual aid funds that support Black, Indigenous people of color, especially those who live in and around DC as they're having a rough time right now. So if you have the means, please support those folks who are most impacted by the things that are happening here. And we will see you all on the 21st, potentially at a new time, because we're working on a time that will let everyone come and not have to come late or leave early. So we will see you then, same place, possibly different time. Thank you all for coming.
Have a great evening.